All right, welcome to the Sae Bae cast number 245 with King Mabry. King Mabry, how are we doing this fine afternoon?
What's going on, brother? It's good to be here, man.
Yeah, it's got you on pretty quick. In fact,
Yeah,
I hadn't realized that you've only published 5 videos on your YouTube channel. Um,
that's right.
that's
5. Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
You almost have 5,000 subscribers with 5 videos.
I know it's kind of nuts.
Yeah,
Honestly, I
that
don't
shit took
really.
me hundreds of videos to get to 5K. So,
Dude,
you,
it's
you're
all that RNG sometimes, man. You
No,
know.
it's really not though. It's not RNG because I looked through your videos and you are putting your literal heart and soul into these videos. I mean, if it's
Oh,
not
bro,
your
that
heart and
means a
soul, then you
lot.
have a massive heart and soul that you're maybe not taking full advantage of. But seriously, this is some genuinely impressive content that you've been publishing. I'm just curious, like right off the bat, like have you
Yeah,
do you have experience with YouTube prior to this channel, or is this like the first time you're getting into content creation?
bro. Honestly, this is really the first time I've hard committed to doing some content creation. I've dabbled in the past. I do a lot of video editing on the side and stuff like that, but I always wanted to make RS content with YouTube, and I'd always film a bunch of shit, then record it, and then edit it and then put it on YouTube. I'd get 10 views in 4 hours and then delete it. I just struggled a lot with just confidence and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So, yeah. It's the first real time taking a crack at it, so.
Well, it's going swimmingly. Looks like to me. So let me actually just
Jeez.
pull it up over here because the
Yeah,
video
absolutely.
the video I just watched on your channel was literally you getting the fastest quest cape in RuneScape history. That's
That's right.
accurate, right? Like that you actually got the fastest. I mean, this shit was done in, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it was under 5 days.
Yeah, 4 days, 19 hours with the current 170 quest roster. Yeah. So
Oh my
post
god.
DT2, everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Okay. Well,
I guess technically, solo mission, shout out to him. He has the fastest, but I think that was 2 years ago, pre DT2 and all that. So
it's impressive, man. I mean, this stuff. So, did you have
thank
any
you.
like runs before this, or was it really just like, okay, this is the first real run? I'm gonna take a
I did.
crack
I
at
didn't
it.
yeah, no, I didn't do any practice runs per se, on fresh accounts. It was mostly just on different alts, just really testing methods and stuff. I just trusted my instinct and my game knowledge over the years that I'd be able to execute it and plan it appropriately. And I'm kind of just just throw the dice, let them fall, and see what happens, kind of thing. So, yeah.
Damn. Well, yeah, you secured it, and it was entertaining the whole way through too. I mean, this was
Thank
just
you.
great editing, man. Great like
It was a
commentary,
lot of
great
fun.
energy. It's just, and even toward the end, I mean, I feel like you know about timing. Like you know how to, like right at the end, there was a sort of buildup. I don't know how you can, like in my
Mm-hmm.
head, I wouldn't understand how
Mm-hmm.
to execute a timing that's like, there's some pressure buildup. I mean, because as a viewer, you're just like, okay, I know exactly where this is about to go. But for somehow you just made it almost like emotional. It was great. It was
Yeah.
just,
Thank
it's
you.
impressive, man.
Thank
So,
you. No, that means a lot coming from a seasoned, content creator and
oh,
just extraordinaire in the space of RuneScape. So I appreciate that, bro.
well, I
For real.
don't know about extraordinaire. I don't know. Well, the editing side, that is not me. I'm definitely more on the commentary side. But
Of
yeah,
course, of
no, I mean,
course.
I'm gonna have obviously all your links down included in the bottom. So anybody that's listening from the get go, we're gonna obviously be talking for the next couple hours. But go check out his stuff. I mean, I think you guys will genuinely be impressed and. Drop him a subscription. This man's on the up and coming. So,
Hey,
so
thank you, brother.
there is so much to talk about today.
Oh, a lot, man, a lot.
And you are, it seems, just as passionate as I am about a lot of similar things, such as skilling, such
Yes.
as, the future of RuneScape, the golden age that I've been kind of continually been hyping
Mm-hmm.
up. Just, we're still in it.
Yep.
And we're going to jump into all of it. And it looks like you have some experience with World of Warcraft as well that we're going to kind of see some similarities of.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I don't think that's unfortunate. But before we jump into all this good stuff, I want to get a brief introduction of who you
Yeah.
are as a player and maybe just you as a person?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. So I guess I'll start from the beginning. I've been playing RuneScape for probably 19, 20 years. Started around when I was 10. It's kind of interesting. Like I'm from New York, so I grew up like in Brooklyn, and we had this giant public library where all the kids from like all the different hoods, we'd all come and like just like skip school and like just play RuneScape all day. And I grew up playing, like finding RuneScape through that. And then where I would spend my summers, all my friends out there also got into RuneScape at the same time. So literally I was just surrounded by it growing up. We were like big PKers, like always scamming each other. Like it's funny, the Lelador like Sae Bae cast you did with Lel, I don't know how long ago it was, but I literally felt like I was listening to my own story. Just him talking about like going to the library and like ducking kids who you scammed and like, scamming me. Like literally, dude, we'd like keylog each other. Like it was ruthless. Like literally no life. It was so sad. Like the cops would come and like kick us off of the like the computer area because we'd like it would get into like fist fights and like
Holy.
Yeah, dude, it was that shit was crazy.
Holy crap.
I miss those days. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. But I am just a passionate, lifelong RuneScape player. I don't know if I would define myself like in a particular niche of player. Definitely skiller. I like in the time of old school, like when it was first becoming popular back 2014, 2015, 2016, I was really involved in like the HLC and the high level skilling community. Just involved in all those early methods of skilling. So that's just like in my DNA. Like as corny as it sounds, like I just love that shit. Not really much of a PKer, unfortunately, but I just have a deep, deep passion for the game. Everything from the storytelling. I'm like a playwright by trade, so it is. I love the questing aspect of RuneScape, just how well written a lot of these quests are, and that was kind of what prompted me to do like my Questcape speed run, and ultimately like choose the editing style and kind of like trying to depict stories and like make it like a journey with like like you said like in the last episode, kind of like an emotional climax kind of thing, just like dropping tidbits of that throughout. But yeah, I would say that's like a little TLDR of who King Mabry is. And yeah, man,
nice. I'm curious, where did you get the idea to have an Inquisitor's Great Helm be your profile picture?
It's my favorite item in the game. Yeah, I don't know why. There's just something so like, Mauritania is my favorite area in the game. I love like, vampires and all that stuff. And like Nightmare's my favorite boss. And yeah, I don't know. Inquisitor's Great Helm. There's just something so cool about it, man.
Nightmare's your favorite boss. We might need to get into some debate over.
I know that's down the line.
Yeah. We'll touch on that for sure. I actually agree with you. The helmet is just it's clean looking. The only real issue I have with it is just how large the sprite is of it. When it's like in your inventory or in your gear, it's like it's so massive compared to like the rest of the set. It's almost jarring, but
it's a little jarring.
Yeah, it's cool though. It's cool. It's a cool helmet. So. Yeah, and I guess it matches that kind of like King Mabry vibes. Got kind of like that royal.
A little bit, yeah. I needed like a profile picture. Everyone like back in the day, it was just like your RuneScape sprite. With like your farming cape or whatever shit cape you had back then. Like, you know what I mean,
dude? To this day, so I didn't play RS3 at all, or like any time after like November 2007. I just genuinely quit the game until 2015. Word. But
same.
I remember, that's when like people started getting the weird like RS3 profile pictures where it would just like have, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's just like the face.
Bro, Alkin still has that shit, right?
It's exactly that.
Yo.
Yeah, it felt like everybody, when I came back to old school, everybody had this as like their profile picture. I'm like, what is going on? It's giving me PTSD.
Alkin, if you're listening, yeah, dude, you got to change that shit. If he's listening, this shit is horrible.
Thank you. I don't want to judge. Like, this is not. I'm not trying to judge too hard, but goddamn, like it's just,
no, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
So
it.
bad.
I love it.
Oh man, that's so funny. We both instantly thought of Alkin.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. That's exactly. There's a few others I could name, but I won't name and shame. We'll keep it civil here.
Wheel of Fortune bullshit.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
god, dude. The
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
thing is I wasn't even around then, and it still
Oh,
just cringes me so hard to think about.
dude, it's like, man, I can't. I hate even remembering that time. It literally breaks my heart. Like,
Oh man,
yeah,
and there was
terrible.
nothing the community could do about it. The game was not run by the community, so it's just like you just had to take it. Just take whatever.
Dude,
they
it was
gave you.
overnight. Remember, me
Sheesh.
and all my homies at the library were like, "What the fuck is this wilderness ditch? Like, why can't I fucking trade people like gold? Like, there was like a 25K trade limit. Like, oh, dude, it was insane. It was
Yeah,
insane.
actually, I think it
Like,
was even lower. I think it was 10K. Well,
probably.
maybe it was just because I think it was based on like the quest points you had, or maybe your total, or something like that.
Maybe, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's when I quit. I logged in for a couple days and I was like, this is the worst game ever. There was removing that excitement about, just going around to a drop party and being able to get something. Completely
Oh, that's
eliminating
what
all
I'm
that was
saying.
just devastating. And you couldn't get scammed. You couldn't scam anymore. The whole lending system, I don't know exactly when that came out, but there was some sort of,
Yeah.
it might have been a little bit after that point. Wasn't playing then,
It
but
was like,
yeah.
yeah. No, it was just like, it was because all these kids like would cry about getting scammed, and then Jagex was like, "We need to put trade restrictions." I'm like, dude, it's these idiots that like can't double check the trade window. Now I gotta suffer. Like,
Yeah, no, it was definitely more than that. It was
it was
all the like just gold buying and selling and whatever else was going on. They just needed to shut
a lot
it
of
down.
flower gaming and shit.
Yeah.
Going on.
Oh no,
that was toxic. That was toxic.
just yeah, bad times, bad times. But here we are,
Yeah,
and what I have been saying is the golden era. I agree that I do have my gripes with the game as I always
course.
have had, but I feel like my gripes are actually probably the least I've had in the whole game's history, which is actually impressive to think, because sometimes it's easy for me to imagine that 7 years ago the game was like flawless or something. Absolutely not. It had so many
God,
fucking
no.
issues. It had way more issues than it does now, although there have been some other like imbalances that I can complain about now. But ultimately,
Sure.
I'm like, we're in a great spot. What are your thoughts?
100%. Yeah, you said it perfectly. This is like, there was so much jank, even like 5 years ago. Like, compared to where we've come from before, like, we even had Slayer points, before Kraken was even in the game. Like, when Biss was still a fire cape and like a black mask, and just like, no one quite understood the complexities and nuances of the game still at that time. And it's so just very well polished and fleshed out. Like you said, I still have a lot of gripes. I definitely think a lot of things have gotten devalued, which we'll get into. And it's just, yeah, I'm not big fan of a lot of the changes, but looking at it as like the grand scope of things, I think this is the healthiest old school has ever been. What do you think about that? Like today, right now, this is the healthiest the game's ever been.
I agree with that, and it feels like the team is the most transparent they've been, and it also feels like,
I know. Yeah.
I've also seen the last few years and I've kind of like coined it as the enlightenment. Like we're actually going through like this enlightenment phase of realizing that we don't need absolutely masochistic grinds to feel like this game is old school. Like we just really don't need all that nonsense.
So you don't like Nightmare, bro? Is that what you say?
You know what? Let's just jump into that right now, because
okay.
honestly, Fasani's beautiful fight. They've even there was a blog post of them removing one of the phases, which I actually think is brilliant.
Yeah,
I think one of the phases is pretty irrelevant. It's just it's there for the sake of increasing the duration of the fight, which was a balancing thing that Arcane probably felt the need to do, just because you didn't want to fully devalue normal Nightmare. But yeah, I actually really enjoy the fight. I wish it could be duoed almost. Like that would be cool. Just go in there with a partner and just fuck it up.
I've thought about that too. Like Fosani's in particular would
Yes, yeah,
be
I am only
incredible
talking
to
about.
fight.
I would be okay with them deleting normal nightmare at this point. Just delete
Oh
it.
yeah, get that shit out of the game. We
Yeah.
don't need that.
And especially
Just keep Fosani's.
like delete it, but make Fasani's where the normal nightmare is. I mean, the fact that you have to run up to the other staircase to get to the
Dude, I
actual
know.
fight is just kind of
Like,
silly.
what are we doing?
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
I want to hear an argument from somebody that's actually like pro normal nightmare. I feel like maybe there's a few people that are like, yeah, this is a good thing for the game, dude. That place sucks. Like,
Nah, they're got to be rage baiting. If they defend that shit, they're like 100% just looking
true,
rage
dude.
bait.
It is true.
There's no way that shit is good for the game.
But
Like,
let me get your take on, well, let me also say, so they are shortening up the phase, which probably is going to make the drops coming into the game 20% more, I guess, quick. I guess they're going to be coming into the game a little bit more commonly. But I have always had a problem with the drop rates of Nightmare in general. The fight is pretty much perfect. Fasani's is just great. And what I've always wanted is for that to be sort of like a side quest boss to go do for some like niche gear. But it's never felt that way. It's always felt like, nah, complete the whole fucking game first and then do this for collection log and hate your life.
literally spend like half the year clogging at fucking Nightmare.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, if Inquisitors had more use, not just like outside of like, it was like BIS for like Warhammer specking like Tecton or whatever. Like, we need more things, even like the orbs, to where the value, like the price would just like be a little bit more worth it to counter the insane drop rates that they are. I love the boss fight. I think it's like just the best mechanics. It's so fun. It's so rhythmic. I love the journey getting there. I think as like a WoW player, I love that, just like venturing far out to like going to take on this like end game kind of boss and maybe getting like a kill or two in a trip and then having to run all the way back through, the dungeon underground. I'm fine with the rates still. Again, I think it just comes down to like just buff the damn Inquisitor's armor and the orbs. At the end of the day, like Mace is great, but like we gotta do something about the armor. It's been in the game for so long, and they haven't even really like considered it, really, at least to my knowledge. Like making any serious changes. Like where do you think the problem is with Nightmare? Is it the rates? Is it Inquisitors? Is it like the whole encounter? Like,
It really ultimately in my head just comes down to the rate of the items. Now, I would be totally okay with them taking a different approach and genuinely like buffing the items, but I feel like there needs to be some sort of balancing where you don't want to make it too good. In my opinion, I'm like, okay, make it so right off the bat, make it so the Inquisitor's helmet has +6 strength. That would immediately put it in this really good spot where it's like, okay, now this is kind of competing with the Oathplate helm a little bit. This is more rare than the Oathplate helm. And like they could do that. That would make the whole set have a little bit more of like just a bit more power because it does have that multiplier going on with it. And the orbs, I mean, if it was up to me, I would love to just go in there and really just rethink the whole orb concept. I mean, I understand the volatile orb and the harmonized orb really are like PK weapons kind of at this point. They're just kind of focused on that. But it just feels messy. Like those orbs feel messy. They don't feel right in the game. And I think it was just because like the shadow came out so quickly after the harmonized orb had its like small little stint of being best in slot. And now it just feels awkward and janky.
It does, yeah.
I almost wish there was just like one Nightmare orb, almost that had like.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know how that could work exactly, but I just feel like right now it's really clunky. I'm not losing sleep over it. It's like whatever, but it just feels like I don't know. These things kind of are just awkward.
Yeah, at this point, like it's like you said, like definitely not losing sleep over it. It's been in the game for 5 years.
Yeah.
Like Harm had its shine for, like you said, a little bit before Shadow came out, for like Zulrah with Tome and like full ink, but like now it's just janky, like you said, to use. Like Eldritch and Volatile, it's like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. It's just like one orb could be interesting. Maybe like an orb that you could like change the special attack like periodically. I don't know, just something to make it more interesting and viable because it's just not at this point.
Yeah, it's just odd. So I try not to like the orb situation is like one thing. I try to mainly just focus on Inquisitors and the Mace. I feel like a little bit of a buff, and then obviously improving the drop rates. I would even like some sort of system for a fortified Inquisitors. I think that would be a cool route to go down.
Oh, that I like. That sounds nice.
It's hard to know exactly. I mean, there had always been those proposals of like combining Justicure with Inquisitors and making it like some
just
fortified.
Gonna say that. Yeah,
I don't quite like. In my opinion, I guess now I'm just thinking like maybe I'd actually almost prefer Justicure to get its own separate buff and not have a combination thing, and then have some sort of fortified coming from maybe some skilling instead, or just being able to fortify the armor with some rare minerals around Nightmare or something. Again, kind of spitballing ideas. I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on it, but I
definitely
think
add blood shards to the drop table.
See, if they did that, if they added blood shards to the drop table, I am basically immediately okay with the drop rates not changing.
Yes, 100%.
Because then you can go there, and what you would do is go into it with the purpose of grinding blood shards, and then you just randomly get some nice Inquisitors pieces and stuff. Like that would be beautiful.
Iron Man would exactly, and I think Iron Man would like get more dopamine like seeing a blood shard drop than like a freaking harm orb at this point. Honestly, imagine it dropped like 2. It had like a small chance to like double roll blood shards.
Fuck yes, dude.
Oh, dude! Like instead of the pet, you can like choose to double roll for blood shards or something. Like that would be sick.
Oh my
god!
Like,
just, I mean, I love the like Little Nightmare's favorite pet, but like just just maybe disable that and get 2 blood shards. Just saying.
Give us literally that. Like that would be amazing. I mean, yeah, like, that sounds perfect.
Yeah, like something like a Raxor destroy to search for Nid. Something like that, maybe, but even I'm not really a fan of that thing, but I don't know, something to incentivize just making it relevant content where you don't want to like just dread logging on every day to go kill Nightmare.
Yeah, no, I'd even be okay with like some system where you could like sacrifice, I don't know, a Nightmare staff or something and get 2 blood shards or a blood shard or something.
Get 10 blood shards.
Yeah, really crank up the prices. I'm down.
Yeah, literally.
That's a whole nother thing. Like blood shards. I mean, we could jump into the whole blood shard problem. I'm hoping that when that final vampire quest comes out, we're gonna get some nice buffs potentially to grinding blood shards. Yeah,
I hope so. That would be nice for the game. Be healthy, I think. Yeah, it's just I don't know the state of blood shards. I'm indifferent. I like how rare they are from a main perspective, but then like I can kind of see the Iron Man side of things where it's like I don't want to just like tap on my phone like mobile-scape at work like 20 hours to get a blood shard thieving buyers. Like that's not really viable. It's in a weird spot right now, I think.
Yeah, I just feel like honestly, if we could just wipe our brains thinking of the 1 in 5,000 that they set it to with Vyers and made it more like a 1 in 2,000. If we could just fully wipe our brains and just realize it was always 1 in 2,000, that would immediately just have been a lot better of a position to be in. And I feel like we wouldn't be like, no, you're going to, vastly devalue this item or something like that. I don't know. But
yeah,
I would also like it if, maybe getting a Vire task gave you a 5 times multiplier on a blood shard, because the 100%. Boss and the gold farmers are not getting Slayer tasks to do this.
Well, but if those dudes motherfuckers ain't running a Duradel to get no Vire tasks. Yeah. They're just like set up on their bots. Like, yeah, of course.
Exactly. So I'd be okay with that. And even maybe like a special spot with Mauritania Elite or something where you could, I don't know, get a buff as well.
Yes. That's an amazing idea. Something like, because why is it different that like if you're on a rev task, why is your chance of getting a crossbow so much higher than if you're unskulled and off task? Like, why can't Vyers be something similar where like make it 750 point unlock? I don't know, from like the shop, like make us use our Slayer points for something else other than just like skipping for Inferno tasks. I don't know.
Yeah, but no, it's great idea. It's like, and I feel like I've always been hesitant on like the 5 times multiplier, but the blood shard is the perfect place for it because this place is botted to hell and it's gold farmed to hell. So I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
Now, we could obviously talk about blood shards and nightmare all day. I love talking about it. I go round and round in circles, and it's just great fun for me. But I want to touch on a different topic immediately. And this is something we had kind of been chatting up in our DMs. One of them is should XP rates be subject to change?
Oh baby. Baby. What are your thoughts on that real quick?
Well, let's pick one particular example. I feel like what always comes to people's minds is rooftops getting just buffed arbitrarily. Yeah. Just here we go. We're just going to double the rates or something like that. Yeah. And I've always been against things like that. I would prefer to have a, stepping stone of, okay, like as updates go on, XP rates do get, they trickle upwards. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a little bit of power creep in the XP department. But just outright, like, we're just going to buff this to make it quicker for people. It just never feels right. And I think it would be a detriment to the game's integrity.
I couldn't agree more. I think, like, on the topic of rooftops, because I think that that's always the one that gets brought up the most. And I think, like, with Sepulcher, I think is like a perfect thing where it's like, sure, that's fine. Those rates are amazing for the intensity and the micro that it demands to achieve those rates. I don't think anybody can argue that that's bad for the game. Where it gets bad is where, like, you start to tease slightly buffing rooftop rates. Because you just like have to look at the whole scope of things. Like Artie, for instance, like 60, is it 62.5 or was it 62.5 and then buffed to 67.5 or what was it for years?
I want to say let me just make absolutely sure, because this is something that was actually asked on the last
I should know this
because it was 62.5 for sure, and it
was, yeah.
Did it go to 70k or 67k? It was something like that. Let me see.
Pull this up too, because I am curious as well.
So it is 70k. Yeah, it's 70.1.
I don't like that, dude. That's way too high. I don't know. It's just like that's a really high buff for something like Artie rooftops, where people obviously are in the minority. The people going for 200 mil or like post 99 XP. Like, sure, it devalues them as well, but it's still RuneScape at the end of the day. Like, we're not supposed to just like speed things up arbitrarily because people are getting bored of like running the rooftop. Like, then don't run the rooftop. No one's forcing you to get 99 agility. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
We agree on a lot of this. I feel like with this situation, there was so much imbalance with the next stepping stone of a rooftop. First of all, I would love it if we could just fucking step away from rooftops. Why the hell are we introducing more and more agility courses that are fucking just reskinned rooftops? Stop. Like, make something engaging, genuinely. Like, it actually bothers me so much that it's literally one or the other. It's rooftops or Sepulcher. It's like, where is... I don't know. And I know you've listened to some of my casts, and I've been talking
quite
about
a few.
yeah, I've been kind of like going on about a rhythmic sort of agility course that actually has some skill expression involved, and it's not like super difficult to get into. It just takes a little bit of practice, and then it's just timing based.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
I have an idea about that, because agility was one of my favorite skills. Prif library, the library that you go to for Song of the Elves, where you're constantly like having to navigate the mirrors and some shelf obstacles and going up floors and down floors, like something like that. That's like something that's on a time system in a way similar to like Sepulcher, but like not just where it's brain dead. I can have 6 alts on my other monitor and like get perfect XP rates at Artie. I think we got to stop doing that. Like you said, like the reskin of like getting the graceful recolor in Varlamore, like trash. Why are we doing that? Even Prif rooftop, like that's just trash. Like, why are we like who actually does that rooftop course? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I could go on like a whole tangent.
There are so many routes to go down, and you're totally right. Every single course is the exact same. It's just click on the next obstacle whenever the fuck you want. It's just click the next thing. What is this? Like, this is so bad, and everyone just accepts it for what it is. Like, yeah, rooftops aren't that bad. It's just like
It's copium.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is. It's just
No,
it's
it is.
because
It is.
the devs aren't putting any real effort into creating something different and genuinely like transforming the skill into something enjoyable. I don't know. It feels, and I've always said this as well, it feels like skilling mini games that come out in this game are babied. They're watered down. They're for babies.
Oh
It's for
God,
anybody.
yes.
Literally any 3-year-old could log into RuneScape Mobile and participate in these activities. When you see PVM has gone to the point where it's like, bro, if you haven't PVM'd in the last 4 years, like good fucking luck trying out any of these new pieces of content. You're gonna be lost. Like you're gonna genuinely have a very
Yes.
difficult time jumping into this.
And I thank you for bringing that up, because like we've literally gone in two polar opposite directions. With PvP, we've gotten shit like Nightmare, like Toa, like Yama that just came out, like engaging stuff that like feels rhythmic. Although I don't know, Toa is like whatever, but just in terms of like uh I don't know, like the Warden fight or like Yama, like stuff that just feels nice to do. Like you love how your clicks feel when you're just on point. Why is it with skilling, like you said, we're just bringing in these brain dead methods where we're just regressing? There's no skill expression anymore in the new methods that come out. But like, why is there with PVM? I don't know.
Yeah,
It just seems kind of whack.
It is. It is. And
Whack.
what needs to happen is there needs to be a full-on like reformation of skilling, genuinely, in my eyes. This is my own opinion. It's like we have to get to the point where we start recognizing like skilling can have skill expression. It can be in a way sort of quote unquote gate kept. And by that, I mean
100%.
like it genuinely will take some skill, and not everybody's going to get those XP rates. Sepulchre was the first great step in that direction, where like this really is kind of gatekeeping people out of it because they don't want to learn. They don't want to suffer with the low XP rates to get to those higher XP rates later down the line. And I think with more of that skilling never needs to be quite as difficult as PVM, but you have to start engaging the things that make this game fun. And we all agree, almost any PVMer that's above average or average can fully comprehend that rhythm is making these fights fun. If anybody has ever done Yama in the past month and has practiced the dono fly method, that is just pure rhythm. It came into the game just from people experimenting with things and discovering the rhythm of what's going on. And then you turn the boss into your bitch and you were just running and you're rhythmically
literally
going about just having a great time. And there's no stickiness. There's no like wait here for 3 seconds to light the brazier, that kind of bullshit. Like everything is just quick and speedy and it just feels good. So give us that.
Good.
Give us that in skilling.
Please. And I think like just knowing you from your casts and streams, I think you would probably agree on this, that like the introduction of like 4-to-1, like 4-0 chambers, like soloing Ohm head, like feels so good to do. Like when you're like when the timing is just down and like everything is just clicking and it just feels so rhythmical. And that was like the first introduction of that, I think, to PVM in the game. And it's only gotten better, whereas skilling has only gotten worse. Like why is it still that like 3-tick 4G is still like the best XP
horrible.
rates for mining? Like even it's still, I mean, it's like one of my favorite things to do in the game, but it's like, why can't we just get some more love from the JMods? Like look into other cool shit where like my clicks feel nice while I'm skilling. I don't need to like intently focus on PVMing. I can like, if I just want to skill and get XP, like to feel that rhythm. Like that's why I resub the WoW and then I go play WoW. It's your fault, Jagex. Like literally. Oh,
it's the emergent gameplay that comes from those PVM fights that makes it feel so good. It's like this wasn't intentional. Akka Butterfly, 4-to-1 Ohm, 4-to-0 Ohm, Donofly Yama. Like there are so many versions of this where it was not intended, but it's totally rhythmic. It's the reason it's so good. The reason it feels so good is because you're in this nice rhythmic cycle, and we need more of that with skilling. We get it with some places, but not every place. And then the places where it kind of actually does succeed, you are now in this like there's always a hang up, which is the highest APM known to man fucking kind, where you have to click 7 times every single tick in order to like maintain this. So 3-tick 4G, if 3-tick 4G reduced even 1 click per cycle, like I've said with the gnome cube, I mean, we can jump into that as well, but like that is a stepping stone to get to just a better place where, I'm sorry, but clicking one more time is not adding anything interesting to this. It's just hurting people's wrists. It's a legitimate concern that people have.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into Gnome Cube for sure. That's something I sent you that like I'd love to talk about as well. Like there was like a part in my speed run, like my speed running series where like, I have to do like all the efficient methods and stuff. And like, there's a point where I'm like 3-tick, mining iron while like high alking in between like every 2 rocks and like not missing a click. Like that shit feels so good to do. Like, I love that. But like, I do agree. It is a little damaging on the wrists. I can't do that as long as I could like PVM, for instance. But I mean, do you want to hop into Gnome Cube? I feel like you kind of brought it up.
Let's do it.
I'll talk about Gnome Cube.
Because you've definitely heard my takes on that, I'm sure, thousands of times.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it overall?
Oh man, I gotta say I agree with like 99% of everything that you talk about, but I am like pitchfork like against Gnome Cube so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is getting spicy. Okay.
This is gonna get interesting because like I just feel like it can open a really like dangerous door into a world where like macros start to get possibly teased and added into the game. Like I've seen what it does in like World of Warcraft, where like people, like if we're raiding and people have like a complex like opener rotation, they can just like macro and string a bunch of skills together and just press like one button effectively, and it does everything for you. I can see that becoming damaging, similar to how AHK has like polluted PvPing with like switches, and even at Zulrah. I remember when people were like 8-way switching at Zulrah with AHK. I was guilty of that. I ain't even gonna lie. I did that for like the first week. But I just feel like it's making a method that people enjoy and that they willingly participate in, that they know could be detrimental to them. It's taking that away from them, because it's like, yeah, you could still herb tar, knife log, but why do that if you could just click on the gnome cube, click the granite, gnome cube, granite? And then I feel like it's like just making skilling too accessible for people that don't understand the flow of things. Like 1-tick chins is like such a good method and so much fun. Like, what if gnome cube replaced that? All that timing and stuff goes out the window. You know what I mean? But like, I know your argument is like it's better on the wrists. It's like, what does that one extra click do? I don't know, but it does something for me, truthfully. Like, maybe I've just been skilling for way too long. It's kind of just like coded into me at this point. For better or worse.
No, I that is one of the arguments that comes up, is like they genuinely feel like there will be something missing if you remove that tick. And I will fully concede, if you introduce a gnome cube, and I've never tried to get on that other position where it's like, well, you can still knife log, if you really want to. It really isn't that. It's just the idea that if you get rid of this click, if that is doing something for you, where removing that click has actually eliminated some of the fun, there are ways of getting more XP from adding a click. But now, instead of having to do a knife log, it would just be 1 click. So you could just imagine knife, and then you could fucking alk, or you could fletch a dart, or do something in between there, where if you're okay with the super high APM, there's always something you can throw in there that will, give you that extra bit of dopamine. So, and I actually feel like that would almost be a better route to go down, because I don't know, it could add some more complexity in a way. Have you ever tried, this I guess is a question for you, like, have you ever tried to bring purple sweets over to the quarry and just try it out as if it's a gnome cube?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay,
yeah.
So you've tried it out?
Yeah, like it But that's what I mean. It's like, oh, it's nice, but then it's like, why would I ever go back to knife logging? I think what it is it's like kind of like losing a part of something that you've grown so fond of doing, and like realizing you probably are never going to do this again, kind of thing. I don't know if that sounds like way over dramatic or whatever. Um, but again, it's like if you just replace purple sweets with like an infinite stacked like gnome cube or whatever, like, yeah, maybe we'd get used to it over time. But then like, just, I don't know, those clicks of like, you know, herb tar, granite, drop, herb tar, granite, drop, alk, like, I don't know. It's something about it. I don't know. It just clicks. It just ticks all the boxes.
Man, I just disagree. Like I genuinely think, and
Sure.
the thing is, like I can see there are probably some people, very, very, very small percentage, that would just genuinely be like, we're losing something from adding this, and I'll concede that. But genuinely, vast majority of people, I'm almost sure, especially based on them introducing Jim's wet rag or wet cloth or whatever, and all the Reddit posts I saw universally were just, we need this to get into the game. Like, this is a great idea. These are people that hadn't even heard of like the gnome cube argument that I've continually been
Ad
yelling
nauseum.
about. Yeah, genuinely. And people are like, this is a good thing for the game.
I agree. And like, I can completely understand the other side of it. And I would probably admit I'm definitely in the minority in terms of like the view. And like overall, like I want what's best for the long-term health of the game. That would like introduce, like, would you still call it 3-tick skilling? Yeah, like to the game, like tick manipulation to the game for a lot of people that like herb tar once, make guam tar, and they're like, fuck this, and like go back to like MLM. You know what I mean? Like it would give them a different taste of skilling, and I'm all for that. I just like, I guess it's just like, you know, like old kind of like jaded roots, or like, you know, HLC days of like, meh, meh, everything's getting devalued, grumpy old man, like don't fuck with my shit, you know.
It's totally fair.
Yeah.
Like I was in that position. Like I was like, I feel it. I feel that. But there's actually potential. But believe it or not, when Varlamore 3 comes out, that new fletching knife.
See.
That new fletching knife is going to shorten up a tick, and they said it's included with Solasher's Bark. So there is actually a potential that Gnome Cube is going to be introduced organically by this thing coming out. This new fletching knife.
You've planted the roots. You've planted the roots, and now it's coming into the game.
they said on the blog that they're not trying to like affect any of like the tick manipulation methods, but I have a feeling they're going to miss over this, maybe almost intentionally. Yeah. Just like, oh, whoa, we didn't realize. Oh, it's been in the game now for 2 months. We're just going to keep it, and I'll be happy with that.
Yeah. Like, I'm glad you brought up the fishing example, because, like, I don't know what it is about knife log fly fishing. I fucking hate that method more than anything in the game. It is so boring. Like you said, it is so repetitive because you don't move. Like, there's no... You can like zoom in and literally have like the fishing spot right next to the log, and like, you know, you could just zone out, and it just doesn't feel good at all. Whereas like cut, eat, row, like is such a good method when you're in the cycle, and like more fun the higher fishing level you are, so that you stay in cycle, of course. But like, oh yeah, I do agree with you on that. I hate that. I don't know.
I mean, look at Temperos. Temperos, they refuse. I mean, they have actually gone into the code and made it impossible to tick manipulate at anything. In fact, you trying to do any tick manipulation will slow you down. It'll just force you to not get anything. So now we have these very, 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 very dumbed down mini games where don't try to speed anything up. If you try to go to the little thing to cook your fish, the little like stove over there, and you try to do anything with it, it's like, nope, we're going to fucking cancel your action, cancel. Like, we're not going to, there's no possible way you can speed this up. In fact, whenever you try, we're going to slow you down a full like cycle.
We're gonna spawn a whole fucking tidal wave. Actually, if anyone in the server tries to tick manip, we're spawning tidal waves, and you all lose XP.
This is genuinely the concern I'm seeing. Is like there is this. it's just so bizarre. And with Giants Foundry, if you try to do any action in between, if you try to be efficient and try to like alch in between these little things, like the stations where you're at, where you can just,
Oh
I
my God.
want to clear some alchs out. Nope. As soon as you try to do, and as soon as you step away from the thing and come back immediately afterwards, like, nope, you fucking canceled your action. We're going to cancel you for trying to do anything other than this right now. And I'm just like, bro, we have to stray away from this. This is garbage gameplay where they're intentionally forcing you to never be able to, I don't know, like be more efficient, like add more things to it, add more complexity. Like they're trying to keep it as dumbed down as possible. It's just sad.
To Giants Foundry, like that shit belongs in like Brighter Shores or like a RuneScape 3 mini game. Like that shit is
literally
just
Brighter
not,
Shores. Yeah.
it's Brighter Shores. Like that. Oh my God. I hated going to Giants Foundry like on an iron because like you have to. Like why is it that you have to? I don't want to do that. I don't want to get home from work and fucking buy plate bodies from Horvik and then go to Giants Foundry. Like I just don't want to do that.
Bro, it's bad.
It's so bad. And then it's like buying ore. I don't know. It's just like you're literally like funneled into a method, which I just think is completely unhealthy for the game. Which I know we don't even need to go there because I know your stance on Giants Foundry. 100% on the same page. It's ass. It's got to go.
Yeah. So
no, anyway, I agree.
Before we piss off the rest of my audience, that's me yelling about Gnome Cube. Let's switch gears, and I want to talk about bosses shitting out as many resources as they do currently. This is tying in directly with skilling. The problem with skilling is that we can't have anything like too good of money, and bosses just shit out all the resources you'll ever need anyway. So skilling has always felt like just a means to an end, like just get to 99. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I really think like you just said, like it being a means to an end. It's like if the max cape, let's just say hypothetically, the max cape did not exist in the game. No max cape perks, whatever. All you got for 99 is a flashy rinky-dink skill cape. Would people be incentivized as much to skill? Like, I feel like Jagex has taken this approach where it's like, well, we don't need to really give any mind to like retuning skilling and making it viable because people are going to do it anyway because they want the max cape. They want to like have 2277. Do you know what I mean? Like, like I really think that it's a cop out on Jagex's part that like kind of pisses me off because it's like you can just go to like Callisto or like, RDO Vedion, you go to the wilderness, like just the wilderness bosses alone shit out so much resources. And I get it, it's the wilderness, but like it's just like it's a ripple effect. Then it's like we're going to raids. Like thank God they're adjusting seed drop rates. Like it's just devaluing like everything. Like nobody skills to skill anymore. Like nobody. It's just there's no incentive. There's literally no incentive other than achievement diaries and max.
Yeah, it's bad. It's literally just find the fastest way to get this over with. Like something that's not going to just absolutely crush your soul doing it. And also getting you to 99 as fast as possible so you can stop doing it. It's really upsetting. And for me, it really just comes back down to adding skill expression into skilling. Like you have to add genuinely enjoyable skilling. I know that sounds almost like impossible to people. Don't get me wrong. I still love the old school skilling of sitting at a tree and chopping it and doing all the other really AFK stuff. I think that's really healthy for the game. But you gotta go in and truly like reimagine what skilling could be. Like there's so many skills that have so much potential.
So many. Like it just like they can't keep making excuses or just not for even just not even bring it up. I mean, like just make it somewhat engaging or viable. I don't know. Like sometimes yew trees will like drop a big log and then you chisel it down into like 10 yew logs, or like you mine a rune rock and like a fragment falls out and then it's 10 rune ore. Like something that like makes it viable and fun where it's like here's an example, like hunter rumors. And this is something I've been noticing them doing, and this is another rabbit hole I could go down with like dopamine and like just like gaming retention. When you do a hunter rumor and let's say you got to catch 50 orange salamanders. There's always that chance where it's like, maybe it's only going to take me 10 orange sallies. And then you hear that little dopamine jingle of like the salamander claw popping in your inventory. And you're like, oh, that would like, now I go back, get another hunter rumor. Where it's like, they could add stuff like that to other skills. Like fire making, dead skill. Smithing is a fucking joke. Like wood cutting, like so many opportunities to really make it fun and engaging and worthwhile, while not compromising the rates of other methods. And yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Like,
the rumors and contracts, those systems are amazing. I
Right?
actually talked about it on the Wilderness podcast last week. I went on theirs, and Trey was one of the co-hosts, and he was just on there, and he let me just fucking rip it with every single skill. Like he went down every single skill and just asked like, what would you want to see from this? And one of the things was, I can't
wait to listen to that, by the way. It's
great. I mean, we're talking about like crafting contracts where imagine they were to add like a downstairs to the crafting guild, and it's going to be similar to like that hunter rumor room where you go down there, you have a dude, he's like, hey, this person over in Relica needs 50 weaved baskets. And what you have down there in the basement of this place, you have all the stations. So you have the loom, you have the spinning wheel, you have the tanner, you have the clay oven, you have everything there in this nice contained area. And you even get like the stuff you need to make the things. So it's like, hey, here's the raw material. I need you to go make, 50 fucking baskets. And what you do is you make those baskets. There would be a separate thing to rebalance the XP across all these things, because holy fuck, crafting XP.
Yeah, that would be wild.
But besides like glass right now, and like d'hide, it's like everything else is pathetically low. But the cool thing about these contracts would, even if they are imbalanced, you'd get that extra, chunk of XP after completing one of these contracts. And so basically,
exactly.
You just craft them there, and then at the end you'd get a little loot sack with more crafting supplies, probably just like the good stuff you'd actually want. But it's like there's this nice little system, and who knows, maybe there's even a potential of like you're trying to craft these 50 things, and then by your sixth one you just craft the perfect one. You're like, oh my god, okay, we're done. Just send it off to them basically, and they'll be happy with that perfected one you just gave them. So I love the contract system.
Idea.
I love the RNG aspect of things. I love, one of the ideas with rune crafting in particular was like, can we get some like fun agility obstacles jumping over to like an altar? Like if they were to come out with the True Soul altar, and it's got almost like a sepulcher pathway to get to it. Something where like, you're getting a little bit of trickle agility XP on top of this, and you're crafting runes, and you're just having a good time doing it. Like, I don't know, there's things like that as well that I would love.
I never even thought of like a crafting, like a basement with like, I don't know, like a golden sand pit where you like get golden sand to like make certain molten glass that, like for contracts, like you were saying, like just so that you're like using the resources, like you said, like it's engaging. Like I think two of the best updates in like the last few years, like Mahogany Homes and Hunter Rumors. Like Mahogany Homes does so many things right, like so many small little things that like you don't even really notice on the surface. Like the change in scenery every contract, like the ability to like kind of animation cancel certain build options, like when you build like a bed or like build a mirror. The ability to switch it up, like using NPC contact, like the log basket, like it's such a good method. And the same thing with Hunter Rumors. It's just like, you're going to get some like handy dandy loot at the end. You don't know how long the task is going to take. It's the change of scenery. It's like, even if you play with sounds on, the different sound like environments that goes on, it's hitting so many receptors that keep you engaged, that like they need to do for other skills. So like I could go on for like hours.
Mahogany Homes. I mean, this. Sorry to bring this back up again. One of the things you're not doing at Mahogany Homes is knife logging and then hitting the furniture. You're just
and then hitting exactly.
You're just clicking the furniture and it's done. It's just like click, click, move on, click, click. It just got that.
And it feels good.
Yeah, it feels great.
Yeah,
and I love
because it's so good.
It's
like sneaking a high alk in between a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it's like, you know, you don't have to worry about an herb tar, like you said. Yeah, it's good.
It's cool.
It's really, really good.
I'm a fan of all those things. Kind of exploring the world a little bit more. Like I could go on. I mean, I went on literally for 3 hours on the Wilderness podcast, going across every single one, and we definitely touched on some cool things. Trey had some amazing ideas too, and
hell yeah, I can't wait to hear that.
Highly recommend that one. But you're right about, I mean, the wildy bosses. Going back there, what you had mentioned.
Sure.
When I say we're living in the golden age, there's some things that really bother me. And that a big part of that is the wilderness and how insanely overly saturated with supplies the wilderness has become. I mean, it's, oh my God.
It's a joke at this point, I think.
It is. If you're not, if you're playing an Iron Man, jump into the wilderness ASAP and just get filthy amounts of raw GP and resources. I mean, it's just nuts.
It is like rev caves, like, yeah, I guess they're balanced with like the PKers and everything, but it's like the fact that like 4 hours into like an Iron Man, you're telling me I could have like an ancient relic in my inventory and just be set for GP for like the next 500 hours of my account. Like, what? I don't know. Or get like rune axes and like dragon longswords and like, you know, all of this shit. Like, oh, it's just like,
it's crazy. And
it is
hit
crazy.
50 agility, which you can get in a day on your Iron Man, and immediately and run like, I don't know, 3 games of Winter Tot or whatever just to get your initial 150k, and then just go out to fucking wilderness agility and just hit that dispenser. I mean, once you've passed 60 laps, you're now getting 25k raw GP an hour or not an hour per lap on average. I mean, it's like
insane.
Over 2 mil raw GP an hour just doing that. It's just, I know there's the risk involved, but Jesus fucking Christ, like.
But there's not really a risk. Like there is. It's like there really isn't.
Yeah,
like,
it's
so bad. I hated that update so much. It's like, we're not going to even think about, you know, adding a new method. Let's just add more GP to the wilderness. Thanks, Jagex. Like, the fuck? I don't know. It's like,
one of those things that genuinely kind of, I mean, there's so many aspects of how I burnt out of my main iron, but that is another part of it where it just felt like the time you've been putting into like building up your bank or whatever, it's just gotten massively devalued. I mean, there were irons, you know, some of them my really good friends as well, like that genuinely abused the living fuck out of Callisto 10-mans. I mean,
dude, don't even get me started on the clue scrolls. That shit is, it's like, whatever clog they pull from those clue scrolls, I don't count. I don't count.
It's the thing is, it's not even the clue scrolls. It's I mean, that is one of the issues. I kind of had a problem with that, but like, Jesus fucking Christ. When you look at the loot, when you look at the goddamn loot of this place, this is, you are going out into the wilderness. All you need is a rune crossbow, and you need to be in a 10-man, and all you do is sit there. You click the bear one fucking time, boom. Click the bear another time, boom. That's all you do. You just click it. Just click it, and you could drop the clues risk-free, and then on top of that, your loot sack is getting, I kid you not, 7 mil an hour is being just fully produced every single hour. And so there's people I know, Iron Man, that have over 100,000 Callisto kills, and it is complete brain off. I mean, it's brain off. You just roll in there, click once, just print. And I mean, I'm talking like some of these loot or some of these, loot tracker things I've seen are like, they're over a bill. I think even some over a couple bill or something. And it's like 5,000 Snapdragon seeds, 5,000 Renar seeds, like fucking 500,000 mahogany logs or some fucking God forbid. It's just like, you're just clicking a goddamn bear, no risk, really. I mean, the risk is you losing that trip's supplies maybe, but you have 10 people in there that when PKers do show up, like pretty much 8 of you plus escape, you know, there's one of you might get trapped, but it's like, holy fuck.
Yeah, the only risk is like forgetting that you're fucking AFKing it at work. Like you do it on like a 2K, you do it on a 2K world and like a 10 mass.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you could do 8 hours a day at work, come home, and then do another 8 hours.
It was, I mean, people are losing sleep over doing this. And this is, I do not blame players for taking advantage of this. I'm just pointing out the fact that, like, I know people that genuinely were playing 18 hours a day for months, grinding Callisto and making just filthy amounts of loot and clues. And it was just like, this is on Jagex to have just made
I don't blame them.
Broken thing.
Yeah, it's Jagex's fault for adding like a stupid bear with no mechanics that you can just like click every couple of seconds or whatever, and just like it's raw GP. There's no item sync. Like you said, you could honestly go in there like 2 days, 3 days into an Iron Man or whatever. Like
you could go in 6 hours. Just fucking throw some goddamn knives at like a fucking sand crab, and then literally as soon as you hit Addy crossbow, make a fucking Addy crossbow, get some ruby. In fact, you don't even
get a bone crossbow.
You literally. This is how the mechanics of the bear work. As long as you do at least one singular damage to this bear,
damage you roll.
The top 10 players that did damage get the same amount of loot. So that amount of loot is like 150 noted mahogany logs or like whatever the hell else. I mean, it's just crazy amounts of loot, just alks and everything else. You just go there and do one damage to it. And fucking
I've gotten worse loot on fucking private servers back in the day. Like it's that bad.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. That's So, but like,
all that to say, we are still living in the golden age. I have big issues with this, but it's one of those things where I'm like, you know what? This is the trajectory the game is going down, where it really is. They're not thinking of the Iron Man balance. They're not thinking of balancing the game in regards to loot. So at this point, I made a new, fresh Iron Man back in November, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't care about the competition. I don't care about the trying to, have my things stay infinitely valued for the rest of time. I'm like, I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to have fun with the game and just accept it as it is and try not to lose sleep over little things I can't control.
Dude, I'm really happy for you. Like, I'm a longtime ghoster of your stream. And like, I just remember seeing a shift in just like your demeanor and like just the way you talked about the game and how like you just approached playing when like, you were just like, bro, I'll never forget. It was like one stream, you just like cracked open a monster and you were like just bone bolting fucking shamans and just like, you're just having fun, dude. Like, is that efficient to do? Fuck no. But like, you're like, I'm sick of playing Efficiency-scape. Like, I think you were like super dry on Baron or maybe just like still on rate. I don't remember. Like, killing dude.
I'm dry. I'm over 3 times
you're dry.
Right on Sae Bae,
Jesus Christ. God bless you.
8,000 plus kills. It's 1 in 2,500. Yeah.
Fuck that. But you're just having fun with the game and experiencing all of the fresh new content. Like, you didn't have that, dude, for the last like 5-6 years, at least that I've been watching your stream. Like, they've been great, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there was a shift that, you recognized yourself where it was like, I don't want to upkeep with CAs. I don't want to just grind Duke on stream for months. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So all the power to you, bro. Like, that shit's dope. It's motivating as hell. And like, so I'm glad you're having fun, man. For real.
I appreciate that. Let me ask you, and then we'll take a quick little breather. I'm going to go pee after this, but have you had any changes in your perspective of the game? I mean, I know you were in that high level skilling in the early days. Me and you both, we still share that, like, we want to keep integrity. We want to, have the game still feel old school to a lot of degrees, but we can also, I feel like both of us are much more loose on it, but I want to hear your take. Like, did you have any like transformative, like sort of experience where like, you know what, I'm just going to let loose as well?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, it was like a really, I hate like saying it like this, but it was like a really toxic, high level environment when I was like really going hard for like ranks and like back in the early days when like, I was like trying to be one of the first few hundred people to max and like, all this upkeep with like alting, just like running like 16 like alt accounts F2P, like buying rune items and then like having, do you remember the shop? Do you remember Jim Manua? Karamja shop.
Yeah, the Karamja with just the easy gloves or something. You just make bank.
Yeah, and then they nerfed it, and then you had to get like the hard. Yeah, it was like that was like how I played RuneScape. Like my whole mindset was just around like abusing methods and like being hyper efficient about the game, and anybody that didn't play the way I did or like saw eye to eye like was a shitter and like doesn't have an opinion, shouldn't have an opinion on the game. Like, dude, you know, like this is like, you know, like I was in Solus, I bounced around like Hexus, like it was such a like toxic environment, dude, where it was like if you're a fucking double nat alt doesn't have 99 mining and 99 agility, you're shit. Like like no, dude, I'm serious. Like if you didn't have two shop all
it, bro.
It was crazy. It was crazy, and like, you know, just like it was like war at the Karamaja shop, and then like losing friends over it, and like I just, oh man, it was like, yeah.
But somehow, even with all the toxicity, it was kind of fun.
Oh, it was so much fun, dude. I used to like, I remember I was one of the few people that like was hunting in the PvP world, going for like post 99 XP and like with the PV, like fire striking so you could box trap without getting ragged in the 2K world. And like people started coming to my world and like setting up near me. I was like, no, fuck this. So I would like go on my ult and like flower the entire area for like hours. So like nobody could like, and like nobody could hunt. And then I remember like Randalicious like posted on the Twitter like, who the fuck is this guy like flowering me, and like nobody name was, and like everyone in the clan chat was like, dude, there's this guy flowering in like the 2K worlds. I was like, damn, bro, like we gotta find out who this is. I didn't give a fuck. It was the same thing with the shop, dude. Like my own clanmates, dude. Like they'd sell 5 air battle staves and 5 rune items. I'd sell 50, and then I'd take over the world, buy them all back, and then like have the world to myself for the whole day. Like it was just like, but like to circle back to what you said, like the shift in like my gameplay, I just like, I burnt out so hard after they nerfed the shop and took it out of the game. And then just like, it really took a lot of years of me just like coming back, playing some Iron Man, dabbling on alts, like just raiding with some friends to like grow a new appreciation and healthy relationship with the game, I think. So like my view has definitely changed drastically over time to where like I'd never want to go back to that player that I was.
Yeah. I don't even feel like for me it's even possible to get back there. I mean, I think it's just age and just realizing, okay, this game is endless. It really is. There's no completing it. I mean, you look at even the top cloggers. I mean, yeah, let's just imagine, you know, Marnie eventually gets 200 mil all and gets the last third age pieces he needs. Well, by that time, there will just be more items to collect, more bosses to do, more things to do. And it's like, this game is endless, and there's no rush. Like there's no, just fucking enjoy the game. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the competition while I mean, it was fun being like a top 100 Iron Man and like having, you know, really prestigious account for the time.
Yeah, your account was fucking sick, bro. Still is.
It was I mean, it was a cool thing. It was like, I don't know, it's like part of like my identity in the game was like about, you know, that account. But it was nice just really kind of taking a several steps back and just being like, you know what, let's just enjoy the game. And I have so much more fun these days, and I just take everything so much lighter. Like I'm not, I don't feel, because I remember being in like certain discords where, you know, they were like, okay, new update, like we got to abuse this, don't say anything about this thing,
change
like
the EHP rate.
Yeah, this all changed and everything. And I just remember being like really into that and really like hyper focused. And now it's like, bro, I don't really care. I'm just gonna play the game. And like when new updates come out, I'm not feeling like that stress of like, get on this right now before things get changed. Like, nah, I just enjoying it. So it's a good place to be in, and I'm glad you had your history with that, because we definitely can relate on a lot of levels. I mean, I definitely wasn't in those like high level like skilling clans. I was in Olympus, which was like the Iron Man skilling. So I remember that sort of toxicity.
Yeah, that was like came a little after. Yeah, but that was like the big iron one. I remember.
Yeah, it was
like,
not. It was not even close to the energy of those other high level things. Hexus, Solus, all those
like
things.
Omnia, Solus, like Hexus was like. But yes, I was
Yeah.
mostly in Solus just for
Mhm.
like just like on the low and just like made really great friends, of course, but like, god damn, dude, like if you weren't, God forbid someone found out like you weren't NMZing on your phone while you were like working your day job or like, chinning on your way to work, like biking to work, like you were being inefficient, like, you know what I mean? Like it was just so, oh
Fuck
man.
that.
Yeah,
It was I'll say one last thing and then we can take a little break. But,
grab some water.
It was cool in the early days when skilling was actually kind of seen as like this is before, it was either right around when Lynx Titan got 200 mil all or even before that when there was still that race, that competition. And
it was definitely before.
They would do like the fantasies of like getting the drafts, getting all the good skillers on. I remember watching Zulu's stream where he's doing Blast Furnace and whatever the fuck else, and people are just getting crazy HP. And like that was actually like part of the Twitch culture. Even like people enjoyed skilling. I mean, Autumn Elegy going for 200 mil mining and pulling hundreds of viewers while he's doing it. I was like, wow,
dude, that race he had with AJ, I remember that.
Oh yeah,
shit. That was a really good race. Like at the time, that was like iconic because like. No, people were just maxing. Like I think I had like just maxed, and like people were like, dude, you wouldn't. Yo, they're going for 200 mil mining. I was like, fuck, only Acid Soul does that. You know what I mean? And like, it was dope. It was really an interesting, fun time.
It was.
But let's grab some water real quick.
Let's do it. Then, I'll be back in a couple minutes.
I was just gonna quickly jump back real quick. If you're ready to jump back into it,
I'm ready.
Something else kind of that like shifted the way I played the game, and like I'll never forget this turning point. I think it was like 2015, early 2015 when AHK was like just coming out, and I was doing duo plunder to 99 with this player named Twee. And it was the time like Jace was going for like 200 mil thieving, I think, and like Autumn Elegy was like doing 99 thieving. And after we got 99 thieving, my friend Twee was like, yo, let's like do rune crafting. Like, let's go to 91 and get double nats. I was like, bro, what the fuck? That's going to take ages. And he was like, dude, there's this thing called AHK. I was like, what's AHK? And it's like, do you know the Bryan Cranston, like Malcolm in the Middle meme when he's like at the dinner table and he's like, son, once you start this, there's like no going back. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, dude,
he was like,
the middle was my fucking shit.
Yeah, it was the shit, dude. And like my friend was like, dude, once I like, send you this script and like you start running it, like you're never gonna play the game the same way. I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And he was like, take this script, download this program, and he was like, press like QWER over your rune essence. And I pressed like QWER. And it like right clicked the essence, withdrew all, and then like moved the mouse up to close the bank. And it was like, I felt like I had ascended to like a god. Like I was like, dude, this is insane. And it just, I never looked at the game the same ever since then, and was like doing lava runes to like 99 and like with AHK. Dude, yeah, but that was like a big turning point for me, was getting introduced to AHK and like lava rune crafting.
Yeah, no, I mean AHK, I used it for a tiny bit when I made my first hardcore late 2016, and
sure,
I mean it is truly it's just incredibly satisfying. It's one of the most incredibly satisfying things ever. You just line your cursor up with whatever you're about to do. And then it's just this like nice little, it's almost like fucking Guitar Hero. You just got one hand that's like on the fucking fretboard, just click 4 buttons or whatever. And you've done everything flawlessly, and it'll be perfect every time. And you're basically, like you said, you're just hitting God status. And I mean, there's definitely a reason. I mean, I've talked to Autumn Elegy several times on the cast, and I'm always with him when he was just like, AHK was like a great point in the game where like, it felt it just felt good. Like, it felt good doing things. And the problem was just the sheer, like, well, one, the abuse that we saw from it. I mean, people just being like, 1-to-1, we don't really need to do it. Let's do 1-to-4, you know.
1-to-4, bro. I was doing 1-to-50, dude.
Yeah,
making fucking antidote, like,
dude. Yeah, I remember seeing people fucking making anti-venoms and just like literally. I mean, I remember this one script. It was like within 2 seconds, it had just accumulated like fucking, I don't even know, 2,400 herblore XP. It just like, you know, just zooms in. And then, I mean, I always bring up this example. I find it fucking hilarious. But Paul No Life stream when he was going for 200 mil rune crafting through nature's.
OG, old friend. Yeah, dude. Paul No Life.
Paul No Life. I remember lurking to stream a lot. I actually really enjoy. I always say this. Like, I enjoyed just the sheer, like, oddity of it all. Like, watching somebody take the game so incredibly serious and have such an interesting personality. I mean, that dude, he would just like overshare about everything, and I everything. He would just be like, people would ask me like, "What does your day look like?" He's like, just wake up at 4 a.m., do what did he say? Like, do like 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, eat bread with butter on it, and then just fucking play RuneScape for 19 hours straight. Like, literally craft runes for 19 hours straight, and then repeat. Like, sleep for 4.5 hours.
Dude, he, like you said, overshare. Like, oh man, there's so many like late nights and like TeamSpeak with Paul No Life back in the day. Just like he would be like, this was before even like Max. We would always talk about our goals in life and in the game, and he's like, I'm gonna get 200 mil rune crafting, and then I'm gonna do like 200 mil construction. We were like, okay, Paul, like, relax, buddy. You know what I mean? And like, he would do it, dude.
He would. He did not give up.
He did not give up, dude. I remember when he did fishing, like,
Yep. He did the fucking quarry all the way through on Aussie ping.
Yeah. I remember he like lived in Australia for a while. He was in Brazil, and then he moved to Australia for a while. Yeah.
And then he moved back to Brazil and he got married.
Yeah. I hope he's doing well. I haven't talked to him in years.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, the last time I saw he had stopped streaming, kind of fell off the face of the earth. He met a girl, which would happen, of course. I'm pretty sure he had a kid and stuff. I think I'm not positive on that, but the last I saw of his stream it was very, very clear that he just real world traded anything. Do I blame him? I mean, no. It's just you do whatever you want, but it was just him going live and he's like, oh, I got hacked or whatever. And then like the next stream or something, he's like doing a gambling stream. He's like doing fucking like slots on his stream or something. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Where'd you get that money, Paul? Yeah.
Where'd you get all this money,
Where'd you get that money, bud? Yeah.
Nature's
doing. Nature runes.
No. But I was just a bit disappointed. I was like, man, you were like, in my opinion, just the go-to when it came to just setting yourself in a super hyper unrealistic goal. I mean, he spent over 8,000 hours doing nature rune crafting.
Doing natures, 23, 24k XP an hour. Like looking at chat.
Yeah. Well, it was around like 25, 26ish K. I think it was like his top. And the whole reason I'm bringing this up is just, and people have heard this if they've listened to other casts, but as soon as AHK became bannable, the next day he went live, he was doing everything manually, and his rates dropped by like fucking 70%. I mean, I kid you not. It was just misclick after misclick after misclick. It was agonizing to witness. It was fucking hilarious.
Dude probably didn't press the left mouse button in like 4,000 hours. Dude.
Oh, no,
always pressing like E to press left click. Yeah,
dude. I mean, he was clicking one key and it would do his whole bank. I mean, I think it literally was doing that. But I do remember his little philosophical rants, and also I remember his motivational little speeches he'd give himself. He's like, like he'd be streaming to like 18 people or whatever, and he's like, not many people know who I am right now, but they'll know who I am. They'll know who I am.
That was his fucking mantra. Yes,
I was like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, this is the cringiest thing ever, but I'm actually into it. Like,
yo, no, for real.
He's just hyping himself up, like in his fucking man cave, crafting nature runes. He's like, people will put respect on my name, basically. And I'm like, damn.
Like slumped on a couch with the mouse like on the recliner arm, like just. Oh, dude, the 18 viewers, it's so real, dude. I just like got transported back in time. Dude, I would watch his streams on my TV, like go to bed, like, oh my god. Dude. So fucking funny.
It was just hilarious because like the funny thing is like honestly, if you were a high ranking person, because it's unbelievable to think of that now. Like if you're just watching Twitch and watching people, like that just sounds so unbelievably silly, and it really was silly even for that time period. But you would find these random streamers that just had a really high level account, and people would just watch it for the high level account.
Yeah,
so just that. So like he wanted to grow his stream, and he just figured the best way to do that is to just prove time and time again that he's gonna achieve every goal that he sets out to get. So just hilarious.
Yeah, man, what a time.
Truly.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. So let's you know what you mentioned pyramid plunder. People swear by it. I'm curious. Do you swear as much as Hey Jay swears by it? Thinking that's the greatest skilling method of all time, pyramid plunder.
It is 100% is the greatest skilling method of all time.
You guys are so jaded. It's crazy.
I mean, you've done so much XP. I mean, I've like over 100 mil XP at plunder. Like it just becomes like something. There's nothing more satisfying than like trio plundering, like a 6-hour sesh. And just like you're like just in like Discord and like or back that fucking TeamSpeak, like just running trio plunders, like it was the best. It was the best method. I still think it's like top 3 hands down. Not just for thieving, for any skilling, any PVM method. Pyramid plunder is amazing. Yeah.
That's so fucking funny. I just find it like one of the most clunky, annoying.
Oh, it's super janky. Yeah. That's what makes it so good. The magic infused.
It's pure nostalgia on your guys' end. I know it for a fact.
100%.
If that were to drop in as a brand new method today, we'd be like, what the fuck is this, dude?
Oh, I wouldn't touch it, dude. I wouldn't even step foot in Sofam. I would not go anywhere near it.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible, clunky methods, man.
Yeah. No, I respect it though. I respect you holding your ground. Hey, Jace does as well. I find it hilarious.
Does he? Good for him. Yeah, he was doing 200 mil when nobody else was. Yep. Yeah, I remember. It was the first 200 mil I think he ever got, was thieving.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it was like him, Sick Nerd, Randalicious. Who the fuck else was doing 200 mil at the same time? I think it was those 3. They were doing 200 mil plunder. They were like gods, dude. Everyone in the HLC like just looked up to those people like gods.
Yep.
Yeah,
crazy.
So funny.
Crazy. You for sure listened to the early Hexes podcasts, right?
Oh, dude, every single one.
Oh, yeah.
Even the Soulless ones when they hopped on board after Soulless formed, when people migrated out of Hexes.
Yeah.
The Soulless podcast with like who even was on that? It was like AJ, Bradford Lee, probably Sae Bae was on there. Vior, all the OGs, bro.
I remember the Erudite podcast. That was like the OG high level Iron Clan. And you'd have like,
I didn't listen to that.
You'd have like Lelador, you had Iron Cub, Arland on Twitter.
Yes.
You had like Sayala would jump on. You had Vatty. Vatty was episode 2 on the Sae Bae cast as well.
I've listened. That was way long ago. I listened to that.
Yeah. Vatty has, at least as far as I know, and he's been on the cast, I think 2 or 3 times. He definitely was a giga nerd, giga skiller. And somebody linked me a video of his. It's not to like, by no means shame him or anything, but like somebody linked me a video. This is maybe a year or 2 ago, and he's just like, "Oh, look at what Vatty's up to," and just this video of like, video games ruined my life or something like that. Kind of like the whole like I regret having played so many video games.
I'm better than everybody.
Not even like better than everybody, but it was the kind of thing of like him making a YouTube now that's anti-video games and very much like trying to better yourself and get financially like set. And so he's like talking about like all these things he's about to be doing and stuff. And it's so funny because I remember watching his RuneScape videos that had that similar sort of like him in front of the camera talking about his new skilling goals and whatever. And then it's like all of a sudden completely different. And just him like being like, yeah, like fuck video games. It's just destroyed, and to be fair, there is truth to it. Like if you have a genuine video game addiction,
Oh,
Like,
huge argument for that.
yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
you need, yeah, obviously, like, there's better ways to live your life if you're not satisfied and you feel like you're being trapped by video games. That's one thing, but it was interesting.
Well, I'd love to segue that into something too that I was going to bring up. Like when
Mm,
you asked me earlier about like how I got into content creation, I was like playing a UIM back in January a little bit, and I remember. Do you guys, like? I know you've posted some of them, but like back in the day, like a skilling vid or whatever was like an hour long, like uncut session of like tick perfect rates to like the best Raznitz and transmix, or like, do you know
oh
what I
yeah,
mean? Like
oh
that
yeah.
was yeah, like that was second monitor, like straight content, and I stumbled on one like a UIM 3 alts doing like the PISC crane repairs for like
Mm,
Con XP. And I was like, damn, I should really get 99 construction. It seems like the efficient thing to do on a UIM, right? And then like something, I don't know what it was, something triggered in my brain where I was like, felt myself falling back into my old self and how I used to play the game. And I was like, do I really want to build and repair cranes for 100 hours? And like, is that it? And I was like, I feel like I should like, and like, dude, I truly mean this, bro. I was listening to your podcast. I was like on vacation at my mom's crib, and I was listening to your cast with Chig, and like I'm a huge football nerd, got hella respect for Chig and everything he's done. And I was like, dude, it'd be so dope to like, just talk with Sae Bae about like scape and shit, and like, make like a cool series or something. And like I remember like getting home, got off the plane, got home, and then the next day I started brainstorming this idea for a Quest Cave speedrun and make a series of it. And I called off work to do like the second day. I was like, fucking, I don't care. Um, and my girlfriend comes home and she sees me like with all these tabs open, and I'm like theory crafting shit, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you've been doing this all day. And I'm like, I'm trying to figure out like the fastest way to do something in a video game. Like, you wouldn't understand it. She was like, why don't you fucking do something that'll benefit your fucking life? And like stormed out of the crib. And I'm like, I just remember that. Like, I didn't have the heart to tell her. And then like I showed her the first episode, like before I rendered it in Resolve. And she started crying. She's like, oh my God, it was like so cool, all this stuff. She's like, I'm so sorry if I knew this is what you're doing.
no,
But it was crazy, yeah. Yeah.
that's fucking awesome, man. I mean, that's how you turn in something. I mean, I'm glad you were so like just candid about like, almost slipping back into what you would maybe see as like the dark days of gaming, where it's just like everything's about efficiency, everything's about like getting it, just completing, whatever you need to do, and the worst method ever, but getting it done quickly, and then kind of like channeling that energy into something that's not only, I mean, I always hate to say like, I mean, it sucks that, we live in a world where really your value is based on like how much, like if what you're doing is making money. I mean, it's just sad
Profitable.
that's
So
what it needs to be. But yeah, I mean, you are providing like genuinely impressive and great content on your YouTube, and it's just like channeling that energy into like something that you thought like people would enjoy, and it's showing right now. I mean, 5 videos. I mean, I'll just go back to it. 5 videos, almost 5K subscribers right now.
Thank you, man. It's still crazy to me. My first video is like just hit like 50,000 views.
Yep.
And it was like I just remember waking up like the first day, like got like no views. All my homies showed like mad love, you know what I mean? And crazy fact too, just real quick tidbit, like the kids my friends I grew up with 20 years ago when we all played RuneScape during the summer, we still talk like every day in Discord and play RuneScape. And like if it wasn't for them, like they supported me filming content. And it was like the second morning of my video being up, I like changed the thumbnail and changed the title, and I was just like, fuck it. I committed, I'm just gonna let it ride. And then I woke up to a comment from Solo Mission on my video, and he was like, you're like 14th subscriber, like, YouTube's gonna go crazy with this video. And I was just like, no way, dude. I was trying to explain to my girlfriend like who Solo Mission was, and like that meant. And just like gave me such a like confidence boost, and just like, you know, to keep filming and editing and like following through with the series. You know, I even talked about it in my third episode, like right as I was gaining momentum and like had the first episode and then the second episode, and then I ended up having to go in for emergency appendix surgery. Like I couldn't sit at my desk for like weeks, dude. Like I couldn't edit, I couldn't game, like I was bedridden. And then I had to deal with like another like crazy family issue, and like I just couldn't. I was just like, damn, bro, God's really messing with me right now. But yeah, it was just like, you know, big shout out to like my girlfriend and my friends for like, you know, just supporting me and like motivating me to, because they saw how passionate I was about it. You know, I love this fucking game, dude. I love, you know, just telling stories and shit. So yeah.
I think the coolest thing to note, I mean, at least what I'm seeing is like your channel it's like bubbling up. It's just like, this is how anybody's channel just goes viral, is you make really, really quality content. And one of them, I mean, your first video, 50,000 views, it's already insane, but eventually, you know, with how much passion and energy you're putting into these things, like one of them will seriously explode. And that's how like the big content creators hit, you know, the 100,000 and beyond subscriber base. And then at that point, it's just keep going with the flow and things are going good. And then that's how people make it a full-time thing as well. Like as soon as you start getting sponsored and everything, I mean, that's just amazing.
No, that's crazy.
But here's the thing. I mean, you completed your Questcape speedrun. So what's next on your channel?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, it's really like finding, and I've been like trying to brainstorm with my friends and stuff about different ideas. And it's like, what's important to me is like also, you know, making fun and enjoyable, engaging content, but also what's important to me is striking a balance between also enjoying it. Like, you know, shout out to all the chunkers. I could never do that. You know, they're crazy for that. Like, I need to find something where I'm enjoying every bit of the grind. So, you know, I'm just trying to theory craft some different ideas, maybe go down the route of like, I love RuneScape history. I love like lore about the game, like video essays, fun challenges, just, you know, different stuff like that. Just trying to just continue to build like a community and just staying engaged with like every person that comments or like, you know, asks me like what the next thing is. That's really why I wanted to do it, was just like, you know, it's so cool to just like have people that come back to your videos and then have new people come on board and they're like, dude, like I just stumbled upon you, I need more content. Like, you know, it's like, it's very motivating. So I don't know what's next in store. But I just want to have fun with the game, continue to have fun with the game, and just try some fun stuff.
I think that's the way to go about it. Sorry about the fucking lawnmower that's outside. Just fucking huge ass.
Oh, I can't hear anything on your end. Oh no, you're good, bro.
You're just rumbling what's going on in the whole apartment, but
I got police sirens outside my crib, so I hope they don't get picked up.
I haven't heard any.
Good.
No, I mean, that's, I think, the way to go about it. That's the mindset to have, is like, have fun with it, enjoy yourself. All the videos I've seen of yours, I mean, I've seen 3 of them, and they're just good energy the whole time through. So you got what it takes. So
hell yeah.
I'm just waiting, to see King Mabry be a much more like household name. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Oh, maybe, man, maybe, you know, maybe start streaming or something one day.
Oh yeah. So what's that? I mean, that's what a lot of content creators end up trying to do. The best way to go about it, and I've told so many people, is like jump into YouTube first, get something of an audience, and then jump into streaming. That's when you can actually just pull people over, and you're not starting with 0 people watching you.
No, that's real shit. Like, yeah, I mean, like I tried to stream back in the day, like on WoW and stuff, and like I'd get some viewers or whatever, but it was really just like, you know, people at the end of like my Mythic Plus run or whatever, and then like some people would be like, you know, looking for like outlaw rogues or like, you know, boomy Mythic dungeon runs, and then like stumble on my stream like 10 people or whatever, you know. But is YouTube 100%, dude. I've always seen that with the success of people. It's like you said, do YouTube, and then you can like leverage that to like already pull a kind of sturdy foundation of viewers to streaming. Yeah, absolutely.
But you would be into the streaming gig, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think I got the personality for it. I love engaging with people. Like, I'm like an artist in like my day-to-day life, so it's, I'm always like around people and like creating and stuff like that. So, kind of got the energy for it, I think. So, yeah.
Fuck
it seems
yeah.
like a lot of fun, man. It seems like a lot of fun.
Nice. And it looks like it doesn't seem like you're too strict on certain game modes. I mean, what are your thoughts on Iron Man, UIM, and main? It sounds like you've played them all. What's your go-to?
Yeah, that was like something I'd love to discuss as well, time permitting, the different game modes and stuff. Like at heart, man, it's so tough, dude. I really struggle because I bounce around. That's why I can never like play one account, honestly, and just like have fun when I'm feeling it. But I love everything about the UIM game mode. I think it's the most pure like form. It's very roguelike and like old school. There's just a lot of jank involved with UIM, and I feel like it's getting increasingly more masochistic the more content comes in the game. Trying to balance all that out. And then like I like to content hop a lot too. I like to go speedy fast. So like main is always fun, and then the collector side of me too just like loves the Iron Man game mode as well. It's tough. It really is tough. I wouldn't say I have like any one that I'm strongly drawn towards. If I had to choose, I'd probably lean UIM. But I know you're like full iron all the way. Like, would you ever consider making a main or UIM?
Main always makes me feel like main would be something. It would be definitely much more like for content. One of the things I've actually admired is like solo missions, one-off videos of like I have 24 hours to do something crazy in the game, or like how much money can I make in this. That would be seriously. I mean, those videos pop off, and I'm like, you know what? I have quite a bit of knowledge with this game. I mean, I definitely need to, do a little bit of research before making like a whole video on it. But that would sound fun for like a main kind of like video, like a one-off thing, not like to play it continuously. I feel like I would inevitably sink into this efficiency mindset where it's like, how can I make the most amount of gold right now? And it's just going to be something really stupid and boring. UIM is perpetually in the back pocket. I mean, if things get if things get really bad, in the content creation now, I might need to pull that out of the back pocket and just like, run it. But I've made a UIM, chopped an inventory of logs, tried to bank it, and then I logged out. I was like, I can't do this right now.
I feel you. It's like, it's good. Like you said, it's good content to have in your back pocket if things like, you go like dry everywhere. You like hate your life on squat cam or whatever. And and just like no bank Sae Bae or whatever, the UIM journey. I'm still waiting for that, bro. I'll still be around. I know you're gonna do it. I know you're gonna do it.
One day for sure. I'm really hoping a new game mode comes out too. I talk about it all the time. I want an official permanent game mode to drop. Just fresh high scores, fresh competition. That just sounds so fun.
What do you feel about like seasons per se? Like like World of Warcraft or like Path of Exile? Like, I don't know if you're familiar with those games.
I'm familiar enough. I never played them, but they just always are running seasons, and that's just kind of how it works. So it's like there's always this resetting. It just reminds me of leagues, what we have in old school. I'm just not for it. I don't know. There's just something about RuneScape that needs to be endless for me to really sink my teeth into.
I agree. So like what kind of new game mode would you be? I know you had mentioned, I think it was on one of your casts. Maybe it was a live stream. I don't remember. But you were talking about like a main-scape hardcore mode or a server. That was you, right?
It was T Papa that brought it up to me initially. He was saying, hey, World of Warcraft is doing this thing where it's hardcore and everyone's a hardcore basically on the thing. And so the idea was, what would be so cool is, I've always heard, hardcore main, but in the main server. So now you just have this hardcore main. When it dies, it just becomes a normal main. But the cool part is that you can, really progress it super fast because you're just a main account, but you just can't die, which I would be okay with, even a system like that. But I would also be okay with a separate server hardcore main man mode where it's a completely fresh economy. Every single person you see in the game is a hardcore, and when you die, you're kicked out of the server. So
See, I love that idea.
Yeah,
I really, because it would prevent like, you know, stupid shit with like, real quick, I have to bring it up. Like, unranked group Iron Man, like, I'm not one to judge, but like, if you play an unranked group Iron Man, like, dude, the fact that there's like an eco for like raids items for like unranked group, like, I'm just like, dude, what?
I just love. I'm not one to judge, but I need to pull this out.
Yeah, I know. I have to say it. I'm so sorry.
Real talk though. Memes aside, I mean, it is very goofy. The whole like green helm economy. To be fair though, I'm like, you know what? This whole game is goofy, and it's like if that's your thing, I would have no interest in like playing a green helm. Where
zero. I'd not play RuneScape. If that was the only option, I wouldn't play.
It's so bizarre. I mean, shout out to the people. I mean, the reason is because I am into the status. Like, so the people that play green helms truly are the chads of this game. Like, they give a fuck. Like,
don't give a fuck.
I'm the one that's giving a big fuck about it all. I'm like, dude, like, well, how could you?
I know.
Like, it's like tainted. Like, you're playing the tainted game mode. Like, you have like kind of teammates, and then you have this like black market where you can just buy things for like 10x the price. I think they sell T-bows on there. Like, it's like the swapping rate is just ridiculously high. Or something.
Yeah, I saw like like one of Fuse's like YouTube shorts. He was like, I sold everything on my dead hardcore Iron Man. He's like, I sold to like these shitter green helms for like 1.4x rate. He didn't say that, but like that's what I would have said. But like,
I fucking love it.
I'm just like, dude, it's so funny. But like, what do you think about like? Do you think the helmet and like this is where the whole kind of like not circling back to Gnome Cube, but just making a comparison where it's like. With Iron Man, what's preventing people now from playing a main semi-Iron Man? Like, who's a great example? Nine Rain. I don't know if Nine is on series, like main man mode, whatever. So like, what's stopping people from doing that? Because like, I've noticed this toxic sentiment in the Iron Man community where it's like, you're a main, you didn't grind for gear, like, you know, someone pulls something at Cox, it's like, oh, well, you're just a main, you could buy it anyway. Like, I had to fucking blow 50,000 glass to get my Fury. It's like very, like, elitist kind of view that, like, I don't know, like, do you think that comes with the helmet? Like,
listen, it was way worse like 7 years ago. Like when Iron Man first landed, oh my god, like it was like genuine hatred. It wasn't even like memes. It was like people would genuinely flame the hell out of mains. Like, you guys don't even know what you're missing. You fucking
this is how you play the fucking mode. Game.
Yeah,
fucking retard. Like all this shit.
Seriously,
like,
it would get that. It would get that aggressive, and and like. It's definitely toned back a lot, but there's always more people that are getting into Iron Man mode. And listen, I've had my years and years and years of Iron Man mode where it's at the point where it's like, bro, you eventually get over it. Like, you eventually get over your high horse of thinking you're like better than people. I mean, nobody lot of cares. Iron Man, you know, I hate to admit it, but like, 9 years ago, when I first started Iron, it was like, I felt that. I was like, mains are just, they don't even know what they're missing. This is the greatest thing ever.
It's the like, dude, I would parade around, like I would like follow people and then like press spacebar just to type something blank so they see. They see. I remember.
I mean that was the shit. I mean, it almost feels like it's a rite of passage. You got to be an Iron Man. You got to be a total dick, and low key, everyone's actually just judging you, but you don't even know it because you're so up your own ass.
Dude, that's so true.
Yeah. I mean, you'll see it in Ironscape. I mean, Ironscape still has that kind of sentiment. But again, it's like I try to give them some grace. I'm like, you know what? It's their first time playing an Iron Man. They're just on their high horse right now. They'll eventually get off of it.
Of course, they're like, you know, they feel good. They got their first Barrows piece. You know what I mean? They crafted their first Fury. It's like, yeah, like you said, let them feel that high horse. You know what I mean? But I think, like you said, it gets to a point where you slowly start to realize like nobody cares.
Yeah,
really.
not
Like the
only,
Green Helms. Yeah, they're the Chads. They're the
they
true
are
Chads.
they're the true Chads. And the thing is like, what's funny is, you know, there is that like, man, Iron Men are so toxic. I'm like, dude, everyone's just low key making fun of the people that genuinely are like, you know, mains, you guys suck. It's like, dude, you'll realize it really soon, but like, you're the cringe one that even gives a fuck. Yeah. I mean, I meme about it. People will be like, you know, what do you think about UIM? It's like, oh, we don't talk about UIM or Green Helms here, but it's purely memes. Of course. But on that point though, of like the that you were saying something about like, oh crap! I just lost it. It was something about like the new game modes, kind of like things like that. But
yeah. Just I was just curious. Like, you know, I don't like all the new game modes personally. Like the high scores is like super flooded. Like, I don't know. Like, and this is just me. I truly think the purest form of this game is the closest we haven't gotten there yet. I think like hardcore main is great, but like hardcore Iron Man to me is just like perfection. I think it's just like everything perfect. It's like the risk, it's the like get it yourself. Like nobody can say shit to anybody with a red helmet if they've like got the achievements. At the end of the day, we play RuneScape to flex. Dude, right? Like a little bit, like
no, a lot bit. I mean,
right?
nobody would sink 20,000 out. I mean, very few people already do that, but like I'm speaking for myself here. I would not have sunk 20,000 hours into Sae Bae had it not been for the repeated flexing I could do, and just the fact that it is an MMO where the whole thing is status based. It's like, what next thing have you just achieved? You know, clicking that you want to show off to everybody else.
Yeah, it's like that, like, you know, like if you see like a hardcore walking around with a maxed infernal Zuckhelm Ellie, you're like, that is a fucking gamer. Like,
yep.
Like that is sick. Like, I don't care what game you play, like that is like some of the highest form of just gaming, dude. Like,
bro, do you know
nuts?
Do you know Praisefoot? He was the first guy that got a Zuckhelm on a hardcore.
Yeah, Giga Gamer.
So he has gamer. So Praisefoot died, like that account died. He has made 2 separate hardcores that have both achieved Zuckhelms. So one
crazy.
Individual player has achieved a Zuckhelm on 3 hardcores.
It's fucking nuts. And like that's actually insane.
One of those hardcores got full Radiant Oathplate now. So he doesn't have all the 3 pieces of Oathplate, but he already achieved like the 5 like contract challenge, and so he already flexed it because he has the white plate body of it. So
and I'm sure he's got like Blood Torva too if he's doing that.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, he's
that's crazy.
He's got it all. So this dude, I mean, because he has a Zuckhelm, so that means he had to have gotten Blood Torva. I don't know if he has all Torva, but he definitely has the blood version of it.
Yeah, that's just like
wild.
Yeah, that's so wild, dude. It's so wild.
Some people in this game that are just crazy.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, I don't know if I'm good enough to play hardcore. I'd love to like try. It seems like super fun, but I feel like, and like going back to the status thing, like I had a hardcore. So this was like I'd mentioned at the beginning of the cast, like when I tried content creation in the past, dude, I had filmed like, I kid you not, like 600 hours of content on a hardcore, had like 7 episodes lined up, and then I was just like, I'm going to film the 8th episode, and then I'm just going to edit all of them, and then drop back to back to back. And it was right when fucking group Iron Man mode came out, and people were like, I don't know if you remember, people were like ragging people at DKs, like aggroing Prime and Supreme. People. And I was going for a B ring, and I was like looking at YouTube music for my series, and I just look back, and I just see like 39, 36. There's some red splats, and just some dude with like the Jester outfit and a DFS, like sit the fuck down, group Iron Man trash or something. And I was just like, I had like 99 thieving. I was like gonna start like Bofa grind, like all this stuff. And I was just like, you gotta be kidding me, dude.
Fuck.
And that just really like demotivated me. And I was like, why am I gonna release the series now? You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
devastating, man.
I know. Like it didn't get far like in terms of end game, but it was like, I had like I was just lined up for like what I thought would be a really fun series. And it was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was like fucking raggers, dude. Oh
God damn
man.
it, man. And you
Yeah.
weren't even a group hardcore. That's the worst part.
I wasn't, no. I was just like,
You're
yeah,
just
so that's
caught in the
probably why I
crossfire. Yeah.
caught in the crossfire, man, of like the group hype, like just got like all the glass for like the
Oh.
anguish grind, like that seaweed grind, dude. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
just
I think
like
the hardcore main on a separate server sounds amazing. There's just one glaring issue with it. Just one.
what's that?
And so I guess before I say what it is, just to say how beautiful this game mode is, so many people have heard it, but it's like the fact that everybody has one life means the wilderness is just insanely
Wild.
wild. I mean, you have to bring out your best in slot shit all the time out there because there's no reason to go out naked. I mean, you'll leave the server when you die. So everything is like insanely. I mean, the wildy bosses at that point doing wilderness activity out there, that's when it's actually balanced. Like that's high risk, high reward. Like that is like you want to go kill some bosses.
No, 100%.
And then you have, like when everything's dangerous, because this would have the group hardcore rules where like Chambers is dangerous, Inferno's dangerous, Six Jads is dangerous. Like every single thing is dangerous. And man, like the intensity of this would just be insane. But the one issue is that there will be DDoSing. And if you see, like let's just imagine Bodhi jumps on and starts playing this. Now he's running a TOA or something. His world because there's not going to be, there's not going to be a ton of them. So you just find the world, shut it off, and he's out of the server now. Like that is just out of control. I was
gonna say you couldn't even stream it, imagine you're like running like hard mode tab for like CAs or some shit, and then just like Rot's like, oh fuck this guy, like, and then just like straight up DDoSes you. The
only way you could like, I don't know, make it so it does have some integrity to it is like the team would have to say like, hey, we're gonna make these hardcore separate servers. And we're going to keep our eyes on, like, if worlds are DDoS, we'll reset it. We'll, like, do a rollback or whatever. And we're going to, I don't even know how that would work.
That's but it's interesting. Yeah, like some DDoS detection, like if there was a way for them to just, like, see on the back end if a world has been attacked from the outside, then have, like, a rollback. But then it's like, dude,
and then you have to roll back everybody.
Exactly. Imagine, like, you get that fucking like scythe drop or something, and then like Jagex Twitter, like Husky's like, oh sorry, like gotta roll back like the last hour. But I guess that'd be part of it, right?
No, that man. That's it's
a great idea. It's a great
idea.
It's
the one glaring issue with it. But other than that, it would just be hype as fuck.
So hype. That's why I don't even watch Deadman anymore. I don't even watch Deadman All-Star because I'm just like, someone's gonna get DDoS like in the finale or whatever.
Yep.
Lo and behold, like who could have predicted that shit?
Yep. Unlucky.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate issue. I do love the idea of core main. Just something that adds a risk factor. Like you brought up the fact that like I still don't know why Chambers is a safe death. I don't know if you agree with me on this or not, but in no world should Chambers be a safe death in 2025.
Totally.
I would say in no world should Inferno be a safe death in 2025. Yeah. Like it's hard. You're playing hardcore. There's no other game that I've played where hardcore where like you do some content. Oh, you die. It's okay. No problem. All you lose is supplies. It's like then people go in there like stack fucking 12 skeletal mystics and a 3+12 or whatever, get 2 million range XP. I don't know. That whole boosting shit too is another issue.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you have thoughts on that, like just
I mean, I
boosting
have
in
thoughts on the
general.
hardcore. The problem is I feel like I'm not in a position to take a strong stance on it because I'm not a hardcore. Like if I was a repeated like hardcore remake Andy, then I could have a
Sure.
strong view on it and people would be like, all right, he can have that opinion. My opinion is, yeah, I mean, I would love to have an honest discussion about making hardcore, but the problem is there is that sense of like achievement that people have gotten. So if you have a Tebow on a hardcore and then all of a sudden it's like overnight now Chambers is dangerous, it's like, well, that's fucking unfair. So there's just
Yeah.
that. But for me, I mean, yeah, if it was up to me, I'd just be like, fucking just do it. I don't even care. I don't even care. Make everything dangerous. But I'm not a
Even like
hardcore, so
quest
I don't feel like,
bosses.
yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
it should just have the group hardcore rules.
Rules. Yeah, even fucking pest control. You want to AFK at work? Well,
Yep.
you lose your status. But I agree. I don't play hardcore, so I can't speak on it. Like you said, I'm not a remake Andy either.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, you know, just from other games, I just think like I don't know if you watched a Cold One's like prologue to his new like hardcore series where he like dies at the end because he realized he couldn't telly out of the I think it was beneath Curse Sands instant boss
Oh
fight or
shit.
something. And he realized like too late that like the escape teleport crystal doesn't work in that instance.
What the?
And I'm
Why doesn't
like,
it work?
yeah, it's weird, right? It works in the RFD boss fight where traditionally normal teleports don't even work. So it's like there's just seems to be like much like my IRL job, corporate never communicates anything with us. Like Jagex just doesn't implement like just blanket rules where it's like this works here, this doesn't work here. This is a safe death, this is not a safe death. Like,
Yeah.
I
That's
just feel
bizarre.
like
I didn't
there's
know that. So that's the final fight of Beneath Curse Sands, like the one with like the shadow person.
no, no, the one before that. Do you remember? It's like the one
Is it
where
the
it's
one where
kind
you're
of like,
kiting and you're like maging
yeah,
it
it's like Sarah
or
room. It's
ranging
like
it?
Sarah boss fight. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like kiting it around in a box. Yeah.
You can't teleport out of there.
No,
That's fucked
apparently
up,
not.
man.
Yeah, you're not allowed to like, and like even on my speedrun series, I luckily I didn't. I would have lost so much fucking time, but I didn't get to that point. Luckily,
Holy
but he
crap.
did, and he was on 11 HP, and he's like, bro, it was like over like a year of hardcore Iron Man progress too.
Oh, that
But
is
do you know what I mean?
tilting.
Like that's such bullshit though. Like there just needs to be like blanket rules, I
Yeah.
feel like, for
Bro,
hardcore where it's like, yeah.
dude, Beneath Curse Sands, I mean, even when I was on my group hardcore, they have like that
Yeah.
initial fight where you're outside of the tombs and you just have to fight this guy where if you try to protect a melee or whatever when it's hitting you, it just
Yeah.
shuts it off and hits you fucking massively. And so
Smacks you.
because I didn't read every little last fucking disclaimer on the quest thing.
Oh,
Like,
did you lose a life there?
no, I almost did though. Like I fucking panicked, Telly, because I'm just getting whacked. I'm like, dude, this is like the most troll thing I've ever seen Jagex do, where you do the mechanic you do in 99.9999999% of situations where somebody's attacking you with melee and you protect from melee. But in this one situation, you just get fucked in the ass by doing it.
Yeah.
Like you get heavily punished for doing the exact thing you should be doing. I'm like, Jagex, what is your malfunction? Like, what are you guys doing over here?
Literally. And like this is super specific, but like, yo, imagine you're a new player to RuneScape and like you're playing hardcore for the first time.
I know.
And you're
that's
doing
the troll shit they're doing. I'm
it's the
like,
troll shit, and you're doing during Legends Quest at the end where you're fighting that black demon near like the totem.
yeah.
And there's just all that fucking, it's like 20 ticks of stalled attack animations.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's
And like
literally warning you on the thing, like keep pray melee up the whole time.
Yes,
like,
the quest helper literally says that. Like, imagine you're just going in blind and you're like, what the fuck? Like
that.
the text ends and then you just got like 10 hit splats and you're in Lumbridge.
Yep.
Like what?
Actual Andrew Gower, like you just know he's coding in there like let's kill some people doing this shit.
Let's kill some people, literally. It's so bizarre to me. But that's like kind of the charm of
It's
old
charming,
school.
but it's also like here's a middle finger to all the time. It was charming before there was ever such thing as a hardcore. Like If we're just talking about, yeah, you died and this is funny, haha, but you can just go get your stuff back, just whatever. That would be funnier. But when you're losing 1,000 hours to something, it's like, okay, really? This is going to stay in the game like this? Great.
Literally, like that would be infuriating. And even like, I mean, just like hopping around here, but like on the topic of like jank and like devaluing, I even feel like the Ultimate Iron Man game mode too, like with the like why is it that they have like unique death piling mechanics? Like it just seems so counterintuitive to the game mode where it's like, you know, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go kill I got like 3 death piles and like clear my death coffer, and it's like
that's part of the reason I just am so resistant to to UIM. It's like, this is bizarre.
Every time I put in like another hour, I'm just like, do I want a death pile in the end game? Like, do I want to do this? Like, it's just it just seems like even the looting bag, like there should be no looting bag. Like that's not the game mode. Like, if you put it in there, like maybe but like bring it back to the old days, like where you have to go like, you know, north of where everyone gets their ranging potions, their wine as amies, that wilderness spot, and then shatter the bag, pick the items up, whatever. Sure, but like I don't know. Now you can bag in Ferox. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Now I would I mean, as much as I'm opposed to most masochistic things in this game, hardcore UIM with no POH, no stash units, no looting bag.
Whoa!
And on top of that, you cannot die, so you cannot use retrieval services to hold stuff. Like that is the mode I want. Literally, like
dude, that's some
it's
crazy
basically
shit.
like the whole the game mode shouldn't even be called hardcore UIM. It should just be called like go fuck yourself. Like play that mode, you know? Like
literally
just
masochism.
The worst sadistic mode where you can't die, and on top of that all, like your inventory is truly everything you have. You can actually train construction technically, but you cannot own a home, and you can't build stash units. You can't build any sort of storage device. That's just
actually fucking nuts.
Yeah, and no dying, but no looting bag at all. You can't destroy it or anything. Just you can't even pick one up.
That's crazy, dude. That sounds fucking wild. I mean, but I feel like Con, while it does have its slight perks for a main, your pool, that's probably it. Maybe your teleport nexus and like you store your pets. Iron Man, a little bit more cool, I guess. But with UIMs, man, like the shit it's so intuitive and like part of the game mode that I think it's incredible. It really makes construction shine as a skill.
Oh yeah.
And like everything they intended.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're set up like you're golden. Like I feel like construction was designed with like the UIM game mode in mind. Like every single thing in construction is like utilized by UIM to some degree.
Yep.
And I think that is like really interesting in the game mode. But something I wanted to talk about with you is like your stance on plugins and like the future of plugins. I know you're have a very clean RuneLite setup, and I know you love your plugins and all. So, what are your thoughts like on the health of it for the game? Like the future of them? Should they be in the game? How do you?
So this was, I mean, obviously because of my different perspective on the game over the last few years, it's like I'm much more comfortable with things just kind of taking their, I don't know, natural course. We're like, yeah, things will get broken. Like there's some plugins that are just like, what the fuck is this? Like this is so broken. But at the same time, I'm like, the pros of plugins outweigh the cons so drastically. I just think of a world where we didn't have RuneLite, and I'm like, bro, like I couldn't play this game. I wouldn't play this game.
The way it's evolved, yeah, we've grown
mean,
so accustomed to it.
There's just I mean, literally, and I always say, like, if you could only live with one plugin, what would it be? And for me, it's menu entry swapper. You literally get rid of menu entry swap. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'd still hate playing the game like that with just one plugin, but menu entry swapper alone, because I've gone in just into the detail, the most minute details of like everything. I mean, you can menu swap everything now. It's amazing. It's so good.
It really is. Yeah, I was just about to ask you what you think, like, you know, if you had to pick like 3 plugins to use, like definitely menu and like I think it's better menu entry swapper or something like that, where like, you know, you can put in custom object IDs and
Yep.
like just to like hide like do you ever use it for like artifacts, like hiding like the left click on the pirates and the
Oh
rats and
yeah,
like just
everything,
all this. Oh dude, it's
everything.
so nice.
Yep,
Like, oh my god, the QOL.
bro.
Um
But
it's literally
if you were
yeah.
to say like three, I mean, I would probably
Yeah,
say
what would 3?
menu entry swapping, GPU, and I guess with GPU kind of like
Nah,
included in.
GPU doesn't count. Don't count GPU. I
Okay,
feel like
okay.
that's like yeah, don't count
All right.
GPU.
Well, I'll throw like stretch mode into that GPU, like just how I get my client. I'll exclude all that. I'm gonna be honest, man. True Tile and I think it's I use a plugin called Path Marker where it shows my
I've noticed that, yeah.
destination. I mean, that is game changing on so many levels for me. I just love it. It's a little. I feel like it's just barely crossing that line of like, okay, this is kind of looking like a circus on the ground, but I still accept it. I'm like, this is good.
It's only like when I see you do your farm runs, I'm like, do we need that many tiles on the screen
Bruh,
to show like no,
I
but
just,
no, I feel
the
it's
reason
nice.
I love it is because it's actually just so fucking helpful in so many little things. Like even, you know, when you like click on a door, but your dude just runs to the tile next to the door, so it's like
Yeah.
you lose a tick just because your dude like doesn't actually run toward the door. It's like things like
Yep.
that where path marker shows exactly where you're about to land, and
Yeah.
it can make you more efficient by like anticipating it and, you know, going the extra step, not clicking the door but clicking the tile adjacent.
It's also like kind of and it teeters on the line, like, you know, because I'm like a huge advocate. I hate like plugins and add-ons and world, and it's like insane the level of shit that it gets to in that game. Where like that Pathfinder, like I'm thinking like in like Corrupted Gauntlet or something, like, you know, like towards the end, like sub 20% Hun lift, and you've got like 4 NATOs, and you're in a bad spot where like the floor is about to turn red, and you're just like spam clicking somewhere. In that instant, you can see exactly the path it's gonna take, and then like adjust on the fly, kind
Yep.
of like it's hard to, yeah, you know what like, so it's like
It
feels
it's
a
a cheat.
little
It's a
game
cheat code.
breaking. Yeah, it's a cheat code.
It's a total cheat. I mean, it totally is. I mean, when you're running Sepulcher with this bad boy, I mean,
Yeah, another perfect example.
luckily, I've done so much Sepulcher now that, and with the cheat, that now if I turned it off, I would still have that advantage because I did use it for so long. But yeah, I mean, it's straight up. I mean, I remember when Pathmarker first launched, I think it was made by GE Challenge. That dude's a legend. And
Nice.
he, like, I just remember thinking, I'm like, this is probably going to get removed. Like, this feels really good. Like, this feels like too good, knowing exactly where you're going to be.
And the path, like, so crucial for so many situations.
Oh, yeah.
Like, like, you know, I don't know, like Zarpus, like if shit's getting crazy, you could path around acid splats. Like, there's just so many. I could go on and on with instances where it's like kind of game breaking.
No, it is.
Sure,
it's 100%.
it is completely game breaking.
And that's why I think I've taken less of a like strong stance on this kind of stuff, because I recognize that I'm taking advantage of these plugins that are broken, and I enjoy the game more because of it. So I'm way more lenient for other people. I'm like, you know what? If you want to fully circusize your fucking, that almost sounded like a different word, but like make your
circusize, I like
make your whole game look like a circus in like circusize. I'm coining that term. But like,
I love it.
Straight up, like you're in Inferno, and your whole place just has markers everywhere. Every NPC disappears immediately when you've shot it. It has like a red tile around it when it dies, like prematurely. Like you anticipate all that, and then on top of that, you have like the numbers of their health above their names and
God,
their bodies. It's just like it's getting out of control. But everybody needs that, and speed running in particular. Like you need every advantage you can get. So
see that that's perfect example. That's so true. And it's like, you know, in WoW, like you have to have those plugins. Like if you're speed running like a Mythic Plus dungeon, which I guess the closest thing to that is like the hard mode top speedrunners or whatever, where it's like you need that exact shit. You need to know everybody in your party. You need to know their cooldowns. You need to know when everybody has like an interrupt up. Like, but it's like it takes away part of it from the game where it's like, dude, that plugin like entity hider that removes dead NPCs like at like Nylos. Like I think it's a different plugin.
No,
Do you know?
There's
that?
one that
Dude,
it disappears it before it's actually even been hit. It's like
it's been hit from
the attack,
another party member. No, not even you.
Another person. Okay, yeah.
It's wild.
Yep.
Like you could be, I don't know, like hitting the majors and like you got to like a green, but someone like hit it already. It disappears before you even register the. It's like so stupid. Like I hate that shit.
Yeah. No, but that actually just reminds me. I was recommended like this Sean O'Malley video where it's just showing him like weight cutting right before he has the weigh-in, and it's like, bro, this is just what UFC has become. Where like, it's not just about being good at mixed martial arts. It's about being able to scientifically fucking cut as much fucking weight as possible so you can rebound back and have the best advantage as possible. So it just gets to the point where everything is min-max, and there's no way around it. Like there just isn't. Like optimally, I bet you anything, those fighters don't want to fucking cut all that weight and feel like they're on the verge of death before they get into the octagon.
Oh, real shit.
You just have to do it now because everyone else is going to do it. And it's an advantage to do it. So it's like, it's so unfortunate. You wish you could just go back in time where things were just more chill and relaxed, but it's like, it's not going to get to there. So, yeah.
And the way the game has evolved, even things like ground markers can be not game breaking, but like, oh my God, has that like, if there was like certain plugins, like I would say ground markers is up there for me as like a top plugin. Like
totally.
That's just such, like you said, menu entry swapper is like incredibly overpowered. Just like, dude, left clicking a glory to teleport to Edgeville just seems like criminal still. Like I don't know why. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just being able to change like shift clicks and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's just going further and further. Like, where do we draw the line? Like, every time something new comes out, the game breaks. All right, that's it. And then something else comes out, and it's like, damn, this is pretty OP. Like, I don't know, man. Like, where do you draw the line? Or are you just okay with every plugin being accessible and in the game?
I think it really is just like an endless thing where surely things will get more and more and more devalued with it, but I think they're trying, at least like the RuneLite team, Jagex tries to draw some lines in the sand, like, okay, don't cross this, like, don't do this. It's just so tough because like people always try to push the limits. Like it's inevitable that things will. I don't know of any particular thing. I mean, other than the game just playing itself for you. I mean, that would be a line that obviously we don't want to cross.
But that's again where it's like I'm really worried. I don't know if you've given thought to this. Maybe you have, and I've missed it in a cast. But like, I worry that we're slowly getting closer to where macros are gonna come into the game, where it's like, a macro of like the biggest one that comes to mind is like gear switching or like prey switching or something. So where like F keys suddenly kind of not become obsolete, but like, like being able to like use your F keys efficiently is a big part of being like a PVMer. Being able to gear switch efficiently is a big part of PVMing, but it's like if there was a macro that like swapped 4 slots or something with like one click of a button. Do you know what I mean? And then it like went on a cooldown or so. Like I just worry that like with you've mentioned how Jagex is all these like easy bullshit skilling methods. I'm worrying that like Reddit might start crying. Like I don't know.
I don't see us getting to that point. Almost any time. I don't even think I've even seen a post or anything of somebody recommending that. The only person I can even recall mentioning something similar to that was like Mod Matt K or X Mod Matt K on a cast. Just kind of spitballing an idea where like F keys would switch your prayers for you. So like
Yeah,
hitting
shit
F3
like that.
turns on prey melee, hitting F2. And it's like, yeah, I can see that working in a different video game entirely. We're like, okay, that makes intuitive sense. But like we're playing old school RuneScape where that's part of the skill expression is, you know, being able to click your prayers. So
Yeah, 100 BPM clicky clicky, like that's
yeah,
what it
and
is.
almost everybody universally is on board with that. They're just okay with the game being the way. So I have no fear in the current year that we're going to get anywhere close to it. The only thing I can think when it comes to macros is like gear loadouts. So and that's
which
actually
I'm
something
against.
where I am willing to have that open discussion about it because I think it could. There are some positives to it. Like I'm okay with it. Where of us not getting to that position, but what I've seen is like, okay, bank tag layouts. Do you use bank tag layouts, by the way?
I don't use bank tag layouts. No.
Okay, well, bank
I
tag
want to
layouts.
start using it. It's so OP though. It's very
It's
nice.
so OP. It's so good.
So OP. That's
You-
another fucking plugin that's kind of busted.
Yeah,
That's
I
dope,
couldn't.
dude.
At this point, I probably couldn't live without that one either. It's really good.
Yeah.
Because before that, it's like you had to like organize your bank in such a weird way to like, if you wanted to be efficient with your bank, like for certain activities. Yeah.
Free placeholders too.
Oh my God, everything just went right back in there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's where placeholders actually meant something. Like getting a duplicate drop was actually a benefit because it's like, oh, now it's not going to lose its spot. You just got to get two of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
go on. What's your opinion on that?
The loadouts, I'm okay having the discussion about because I find that, I mean, I don't know. I just can almost imagine a loadout being, you have to set it up initially. So it's almost like a bank tag layout. And you have everything you'd want set up. So your inventory set up and then your gears set up. And it's within the click of a fucking button that you are now fully geared for the activity you want to do. And in my opinion, I'm like, yes, this is getting rid of something. It's getting rid of you sitting at a bank for, 30 seconds, clicking everything, which could be seen as skill expression or seen as like, I feel like the only real devaluement is people that still find it like, almost like a skill to gear up quickly. But the thing is like, I don't know. I can almost just see this being a good thing potentially where we have so many things that you want to gear up efficiently for. And we are playing min-max scape at this point where, I don't know. There's something kind of exciting about getting everything perfectly set up because you would have to optimally set it up for the first time and just get it perfect. And then just clicking it and you're fully geared and then you get to just go play the game immediately without sitting in your bank. Like, hey, what did I miss? What am I missing here? Like, did I forget this thing? And I don't know. I feel like there's a discussion to be had. I'm not saying go full on with it and advocating it, but I don't know.
There definitely is, a discussion to be had. Like, I remember, and I even like, I don't know if I made a comment on it while I was like doing my series, but there was a point where I was like having to constantly swap gear and items while multi-questing. And something it just felt so satisfying, like banking quickly and like the clicks were on point. And like, you can probably relate to this too. Like, maybe you're like gearing up for corp or something like after a birdhouse run and just so satisfying, just like click, 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 put on the gear, click, 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 get all the gear, you know what I mean? And then like, it's something nice and rhythmical about that like, I feel like we would lose.
We would. That's
right. 100%. That'd be gone.
That's the biggest thing that I'd be most worried about. So like the discussion is like what we lose, and so many people, especially with bank tag layouts. Like I love setting up my bank tag layout perfectly, and I do have decent clicks, above the average player, and so I can zoom in and like I now am at an advantage because I've taken the time to set up these bank tag layouts, and I'm good at clicking, and I've set it up perfectly so my inventory is just perfectly pimped out by the time I've done all the clicks, and I feel like I'm at an advantage, which kind of feels good as well. But there is satisfaction in just kind of, clicking. I used to do I did over 5,000 hard clues, and I had the perfect little layout on Sae Bae where every single time I'd click fucking, at least 30 some times every single time I'm doing a clue scroll, and something kind of nice about it. But if I just try to think like overnight, if that were to be eliminated, would I lose sleep over it? Like, would I flip out? Like, would I truly think that something like of gravity has been lost with this game? I don't really think so, but I will admit something will be lost, but I don't. The reason I'm willing to have that discussion is because I don't think that's like a deal breaker.
I agree on the surface. I think what I guess I get worried about is like, and I hate to circle back to Nightmare, but one of the reasons why I love Nightmare so much is that run from Slep, like going underground. It's like you're traveling far, and people are like, why can't we just have a fucking telly like right outside Fosani's? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And part of me is like, you know, yeah, if we add those one tick bank tag layouts, like literally click the banker, click the button, like 0.6 seconds later, you're like geared up for top or whatever. Like that just doesn't sit right with me in a way.
No, it doesn't. Like, it doesn't.
And then it like opens the door again where it's like, and we've been seeing this, things are starting to get a little bit more like Easy-Scape, like even with birdhouses, like I don't have to click on the log and the clockwork anymore. It just does it for me. I click on the space. Like everything is slowly just getting easier and less clicks. And yeah, I don't know, just for like the long-term health of the game. Like if we hope, it sounds like me and you are on the same page with wanting more skilling expression and methods, like are we ever going to get that if we just go down the route of like one click ticking everything? But
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good it's a good thing to have in the back of the mind, like where does this stop?
Yeah, it's just like once the floodgates open, it's like
I think almost like a better solution without going full on like removing any sort of clicking. I think one of the things I would love is like if the quantity in the bank had more options. So
what do you mean the quantity?
So it says like 1, 5, 10 X all.
Yes, yeah.
I really wish there was like multiple X's or something where like every single item in your bank could have a different X value. Because like right now, like sometimes if I'm trying to do like glass make and I want to withdraw 3, seaweed and then 18 sand, it's a bit awkward. I have to click 3 times on the one. I wish there was
click,
like I wish there was better ways to just make anything X anything. So like as soon as you set a certain item to X, you can like set it just as you menu swap anything, like holding shift, you can set it to any X value and that won't change unless you change it manually later. I wish there was like almost an option for that. So you really could fully customize exactly what you want to bring out. So if it doesn't perfectly align with 5 or 10 or just one value of X, you could really just go in and nitpick every little thing you'd want.
I actually really like that idea because like, yeah. And like those instances where it's like, I need 3 brews and then 2 super comms and then like, 3 anglerfish, 5 sharks. And it's
exactly. And
I don't want to be counting.
It's like
4 logs, right?
I just bring out 5 logs because I just like, I'd rather click once than 4 times. So, and it just, my OCD hurts from it. So
like, I don't want to be mental mathing. Like I'm always like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. Like I don't want to do that every time. I'm like banking. So like that's actually interesting. I've never heard that.
And the thing is, like we already have that to a degree. I mean, there are some things where it just happens to line up where you do just want 5, and you do have the convenience of setting it to shift 5 or left click 5.
Right.
This isn't even going like this isn't like pushing it too forward or making things slide down a path we don't want to slide down. I think that would be way more optimal than like you said, like just giving us gear loadouts immediately.
Yeah, because the gear loadouts, I don't know. I just like
that's very much like a huge leap forward where we don't know the consequences of that.
It just doesn't feel old school. I feel like we're in the best era of old school right now, but we're also like teetering.
Yes.
I think on a very slippery slope of just like Easy-Scape, for lack of a better phrase, I guess. Like, and I'm just seeing it in like little things out, and I'm like, this didn't feel this easy before. This didn't feel it, and it's just more and more of that I've been noticing.
It's a good point. It's a good thing to keep in mind, especially with me. I know there's some people that will comment on some of my videos and some of my takes where it does sound like I'm trying to go down the Easy-Scape-ification of things.
Yeah.
I try to keep pretty balanced. I like to have the open conversations about things, and I'd love to hear pushback and the potential downsides, like big downsides of things that might sound good on the surface. So like this conversation's been like really fruitful because it's like, oh yeah, like it's a good point. Like what if?
Yeah, I love, and like disagreeing on certain topics too, I think is like super healthy as well.
It is.
You know, like I was gonna mention this like one thing too about like God Wars KC. I don't know how you feel about this, but like I just feel like God Wars KC should not be a thing. I know it's completely random and off topic, but it's just like I feel like that's literally the next steps that we're going down.
The fucking worst
like,
system in this game. It's horrible.
It is, right? It's horrible.
Fucking horrible.
Like, dude, imagine like you're a new player, like you want to learn like Kriara, then like you telly out, and then you gotta go kill 40 fucking Aviancies again or whatever.
Like if there's some weird bizarre reason why they want to keep that system, okay, number one, drastically reduce it or make it so we can get ecumenical key shards from all bosses, including Nex. Like Nex gives ecumenical key shards and you can make your own keys. And let us hold more than 5 in the wilderness. Like it would be kind of, and again, that's assuming they want to keep that system. I'd be totally okay with just scrapping the whole fucking thing. It really is just one of those nuisances. I'm glad you actually brought that up because it does show that you're not dogmatically just against Easy-Scape, because that obviously is Easy-Scape.
Yeah, exactly.
But it means like we got to pick and choose the things that are just, this is bad.
It's stupid. It's so
bad.
dumb.
I mean, it would be different if when you're trying to get your Bandos, Casey, if you didn't have to wait for 25 seconds for the next set of 6 goblins to respawn. I mean, if there was actually just like 40 goblins, you could just mass murder really quickly. That would be one thing.
Yeah, or world hop imps for Zamia.
Yeah,
like,
holy
whatever.
shit.
But the thing is, it's like at the time, like this is the problem with Jagex, and like it's why Corp needs to get reworked, and like that's a whole other rabbit hole. But like God Wars was released with the intention of it being like 4-man and up group MMO endgame content.
True.
Where like you and your homies, like Saturday night, you're all killing AV or whatever. Like you're all getting KC. You get in there and you can spend a lot of time in the boss room. Now it's like with Iron Man, it's like, dude, I'd watch UIM streams. 80% of the stream is just getting KC to like get 2 kills at Kree. Tellying out, like nobody wants that in the game.
Yep. That's dreadful.
And Sarah too is just like stupid KC, and like why is it that Zammy and Bandos is super easy, but the others is just like literal garbage content?
Yep.
Like I don't know. It's just like
it's bad. Yeah. It's really bad.
It's just bad. There's no other. There was something I heard on a cast of yours. I forget what it was. I'm not gonna remember it, but you were just rambling on about it. Like I don't care that it's like Easy-Scape or whatever. Like what you just said, it's just bad. There's no rhyme or reason behind why it's we just like need to scrap it. Like I think Corp should get reworked totally. It's just like I don't know, 6 kills an hour. I don't know. Like
Corp's one of those things where you definitely have to get a bunch of people to start discussing what the best routes to be for that, because at the same time, like you don't want to devalue some people's grinds. You don't want to make it incredibly easy where you can just do it on a low level. Because one of the problems is like there's so many things you probably wouldn't think of when it comes to Corp. Like if Corp all of a sudden just became like fully massable, and you're just getting stuff similar to like Callisto or something, then
Callisto, that's the problem.
What's stopping a level, 30 combat player from just going in there with an Addy crossbow hitting rubies and just making hella bank at Corp and then pulling Ellies at like fucking 30 combat? It's just it can be a little bit weird where like how do you balance this and try to keep it as like the upper level, like this is something we're trying to keep as like a prestigious piece of content, but also fix some of the nuisances of it. It's little
tricky
bit tough
too. It is also because it's not as simple as like something like Phosani's, for instance. Like, it's not like, let's just say there's like Phosani's Corporeal Beast, where like what would you change other than just scrapping its resistances? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the whole problem with solo corp is that 90% of the time is just you dumping specs into it, POH telling the fucking Narda, using your game. Like, that's not content. I'm sorry, but like, that just is not content. Like, there just needs to be something else. I don't know. Like, and I know you did your corp grind, so you can speak on that, but like what do you feel about like that being part of it?
Yeah, I mean, I liked that it was a different take on a boss. It was like this so unique, and it really was gear gate kept. It was like, you need to have a BGS, you need to have a Warhammer, you need to have these things, and it felt like,
etc.
yeah, it just felt kind of cool that you need all this stuff, and if you really want to enhance it, you should get like a tyrannical ring, and you should get all these other upgrades. So it felt like every little upgrade meant corp is going to get nicer and nicer and nicer and nicer. And back when, you know, Inquisitors, I mean, now if you just get a horn, you're kind of chilling.
Yeah, I was gonna say Inquisitors was awesome.
Yeah,
like, when it came out for corp,
that helped out massively. So it felt cool with that. And the thing is, it did have a huge evolution where like it originally was like 320, 200 with the Dragon Warhammer Arclight into BGS. And then it was just like, okay, hit it with like 3 hammers and then start going to town with a fang.
Just a fang, just fucking banging it. You know? Yeah.
And so it definitely had a lot of evolutions to it. I think it's so tough because as soon as you make it potentially massable for Iron Man, this is more of an Iron Man thing I'm talking about. It's like,
of course, yeah.
As soon as it can be duoed or beyond, now you are introducing a way for people to just go in as a very, 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 very low level account and get, you know, 175 Onyx bolts, 2000 cannonballs, Ellie's, everything else. And it's just like, does that feel right?
Yeah, it really is tricky. And it's like, you know, and I don't know if Jagex foresaw this when releasing Iron Man, but like striking the balance of like balancing content in the game around Iron and Main is extremely difficult. Like, it's not just something that you can tackle and be like, okay, this will solve it for this game mode. It's like, sure, but it's gonna have massive implications on the other game mode as well, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I think the biggest thing we saw that was like Cox boosting.
Yep.
You know,
totally.
Like that. Just, yeah, I don't know, just something about a 25-hour new hardcore Iron Man with a twisted bow and a deck scroll.
Yeah.
Like, hasn't even gotten myth gloves, but has a T-bow. Like, just,
that was,
you know what I mean?
Huge issue.
Massive issue. Massive issue.
I know. Like, and just one of those things where I just had to take a step back and be like, I hate the little, you know, things like that and the wilderness and whatever else. So I just have to stop focusing on it and just play my game and just enjoy myself and try not to think of everything that everyone's taking advantage of and just breaking.
Yeah, like, how has that been for you with like Squat Camp? Have you like found some like new favorite content? Like, do you have any like favorite content now in the game? Like, playing that like med early late game Iron
it's just
you're at right now?
The best part about this account was like already having experienced end game best in slot stuff for 5 years. I feel like that's what so many people end up chasing is like rush, because as soon as I get everything best in slot, then I can finally enjoy the game. And for me, it's like I could have just hopped over to Sae Bae at any point and just experienced that right away once again. But for me on this account, it was like, I'm just going to take my dear sweet time and go like different paths. I'm going to skip Barrows. I'm going to skip Moons. I'm going to go to Sarah and grind out a fucking SGS when I'm 76 range. Like, just
that was
there.
Pog. That was dope.
it was just such a cool, I mean, I already had 92 agility, so I had a ring of endurance before I even started Sarah. It was just like such a different route to go down. And then, I don't know, it's like I was just doing things where this is not how people would play the game, and it like challenged me in some ways. And it was like It's my first ACB Infernal Cape, which felt like really cool, like overcoming something like that.
Wait, how did you lose your Infernal Cape? I was like watching your stream the other day. You were back at Infernal. What happened?
I gambled it on the birthday stream. It was one of the forfeits.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Damn,
And I've had 2 Zuck tasks since, and I died on both. So I'm just like, fuck me.
I saw that short clip of you talking about like even the best gamers die, and you
I
like
was not talking about myself there, but people definitely insinuated that I was.
It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
That was just so funny. I mean, like. But have you thought about doing more YouTube? Because I remember you like dropped like the initial like Iron Man episode 1, and I was like, oh shit, Sae Bae's like making prog videos, and like I think he only did like 3.
Yeah,
4?
probably 3 or 4.
It's like I need my content, bro. I need my I can't watch every stream. I need my progs.
The real thing is like just prioritizing what is going well. So like.
Yeah,
I'm not putting in my heart and soul into these progress videos. I'm not that great at editing. I'm not doing my due diligence, collecting every single clip I'd need to make it seem really cool. I'm really focusing my energy on like Sae Bae casts, keeping those up. Like rambles, or trying to grow the show over on Spotify as well to get that show monetized and everything. It just feels like there's other things that I'm more into than. And then like on top of that, like I saw the numbers. Like I made episode 1, did all right, did 20,000 something views. Second episode got like 8,000. Third episode got like 5,000. I'm like, okay, this is clearly not as interesting because I'm not putting in my energy and my all into this. I'm just kind of like making a ramble thing. Some people love it and they'll swear until the end of time, like, keep doing this. I fucking love it. But this is not going to lead to me like being able to monetize it, which unfortunately is kind of what you need to do as a content creator in order to spend time
100%.
doing things. You got to find something that's promising, and it just wasn't promising to me. And I was like,
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. No, it's awesome. I mean, yeah, you've been like streaming for years, man. And then like the Sae Bae cast is like extremely successful. Just like been going on for years as well. So it's like putting all your resources into that. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally, man. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
I did feel bad though. People are like, "When's the next episode?" I'm like,
I needed my content, bro.
Oh, no.
I was like, second, pull it up on the monitor, catch up on all the prog that I've missed on stream, stuff like that. Man.
There's potential. Like if I was in a better, and hopefully, at some point I will be in a better financial situation where it's just like I can invest money into hiring an editor. And like, really going to town and like, okay, you know what? I'm going to make a new series, new account, start from scratch, get all the clips, send it to the editor. He now makes something really fucking cool, but it's with my voice, my clips and everything.
Your
and
gameplay, everything.
Make it good.
Yeah.
And then I don't need to be like, oh God, I got to go edit for 30 hours or whatever.
Yeah, no, yeah. Cause of course the editing, especially if you put effort into it, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I can't even imagine like how long did your latest video take? Like the finale of the quest runs speedrun.
Dude, honestly, the finale was probably the fastest to edit. The first one took me probably a little under 50 hours, I think, like between 45 50 hours to edit. Episode 2 was probably the longest just because I was experimenting a lot with just like different editing styles and like montages and stuff. But like, yeah, dude, I spent like hours and hours and hours. Even like one segment, like a 30-second segment, I did 3 days to edit just with like, getting all the B-roll and like, dude, filming the B-roll for the series. Oh my God, that was like worse than doing the actual speed run. Like all the clips.
It goes such a long way though, getting that B-roll.
It does. It's the small little details that like I would want to see that would keep my attention, and like it adds up, especially like when you're telling a story. It like there's just like a cool segment I did about like I was like trying to get into like Meyer and like during a Taste of Hope, and like just all this like B-roll I gathered for that was just like so much fun. And like got good feedback on it. So it was just like, oh, okay, this is like, going noticed in a way.
Yeah.
But it definitely
it takes time.
Yeah. It takes a lot of time. I was even thinking about putting like a resource pack thing for like content creators of like B-roll and stuff. I don't know if you've ever like thought of something like that, you know, because I see so many YouTube series of people like, you know, try to get good B-roll better if they just understood how like detached camera works and like skyboxes and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah,
So,
I mean that would be a valuable resource. People, you probably charge for it. I mean, people would be.
yeah, I'd be like, just give me a bond or like give me like $2 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, sky's the limit, man. Sky is the limit. I don't know what my next endeavor is gonna be. I was like starting a hardcore Iron Man series, and dude, I got an ancient relic drop like in like 2 hours into it. I went straight to Rev Caves, got like
Oh my
16
god!
mil
You actually got
off
the
rip.
relic. Jesus,
Dude, I got a relic.
Christ.
Got a relic, and like 2 nights ago, I was just like, should I play this series? I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna see how I like killing revs, you know, after work, and got fucking bodied and lost status because I was just like brain dead. So I was like, I like the idea. I still like have the clip of me like getting the relic, but
That's cool.
it would be something definitely interesting.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you do end up choosing, I mean, just as long as you're just enjoying it, I think that's gonna come through with your. I mean, you do have a lot of charisma, so it's just like, yeah, I think whatever you do, as long as you're enjoying yourself, it'll pop off. And slowly but surely, man. I mean, the thing that's important in content creation is just keep producing stuff. Your name slowly gets out there, more and more and more people start recognizing you, and it's just like, okay, now you're like somebody I'm going to watch every video of, you know. It's just like, that's what happens. It just takes time. It's like time and time and time. So I'm happy with what you've produced so far. It's cool having you in the community. I've really appreciated your takes today. I'm sure,
dude, this has been awesome. Shooting the shit, just talking about RuneScape, you know.
It's good, and I'm sure we'll run this back, you know, at some future point, and we'll see, you know, how your content creation's journey's going. And who knows? I mean, we didn't even touch on sailing. Maybe when sailing drops, we can touch on that.
Yeah, we'll get that. We'll cross that bridge. Yeah. Of course, man. No, it was a pleasure, man. For real. I just gotta say, you know, another big thanks. Like, you know, you definitely motivated me. You know, what's the word? Like indirectly to like make content. So like it was I was just like thinking like one day I was like, you know what, let me just hit up Sae Bae on like make a random Twitter, and like he's gonna feel like who's bot DMing me on Twitter. And like I was just like took a stab at it. I was like, hey, just made some content. Like, you want to just shoot the shit? Like, I love RuneScape. I'm an OG. Like, love the game.
No, it was
super cool, man.
It was much appreciated. Timing worked out, and I was actually impressed because it's one of those things where like, this has happened before, and I'll click on the videos. I'm like,
I know. I was like, he probably gets hit up all the time. I'm like, damn, he's gonna this shit's ass, and this is like block me.
I was truly impressed. So for those still listening, I'm gonna have all of your links, King Mabry, down in the description. So go check him out, guys. He's definitely on the up and coming. So definitely drop him a subscription. I'm sure you'll find some amazing content in the future when it drops. And King Mabry, I really, really appreciate you. Surely we'll run it back
it was a
soon.
pleasure.
And,
absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
There'll be a lot to talk about still. So hell yeah.
Of course we will 100% run it back. But again, for those listening, if you guys want to support the cast, there are now 8 exclusive full-length episodes by subscribing on YouTube with YouTube membership and Patreon and Spotify subscription. In fact, shout out to you, King Mabry, for becoming one of the Sae Baes over on YouTube. You're a legend for that.
Dude, I had to. That was so much fun the other day at work. Yeah, I was watching the stream. I just want to support the homies, just like making content, bro. It's dope.
You're a beast for that. But yeah, that's how you guys can support. So thank you very much to all those that are supporting. We definitely had so much lately. So thank you all for keeping the show alive and thriving. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.